What if you woke up one morning, everything was fine, you felt good, great even, amazing. Turns out, you manifested superpowers overnight. The question is, what would you want that superpower to be? Well, I have the answer already, because I already asked you in this post. And here's some of the stuff you guys said. Being able to summon any weapon you want. The only drawback being that you don't know how to use every weapon. This one is cool. You can make like swords and hammers and like a Mega Dome Blaster 5000, but the fact that it's kind of weapons based means like I don't really get to use that much. Hello? Does anybody want to be turned to dust? I mean, I just don't often get into life or death battles in my day-to-day life. You can make a very lucrative sword business though. One sword, please. There you go. Good power, very neat. You get a gold star. There you go. The ability to fly. Flying is like one of the classic superpowers. Something I've always wondered though, would you need clearance to fly in government-owned airspace? And like if I'm just trying to go to the beach, am I gonna be in trouble? But I would still love this even at much lower altitudes, like getting past crowds in hallways, need to get to work and don't want to go through traffic, need to run any errands. The traffic one would be good, but I guess a car is better for picking multiple people up than flying. You can only hold so many people while flying. Why are your hands so sweaty? What? Whoop. Also, you'll never need a quack seat back your chair because you never need to sit again. Good power though, through and through. I would be very happy with it. Gold star. Geokinesis, which would be terraforming, which would be shaping the earth. This is a very strong power. Say hello to a free house or a free wizard's tower. You could also stop a meteor strike on Earth or be the cause of one. Getting around places would also be great. And also a bunch of other cool stuff. Look, kids, it's Mount Rushmore. This is where your mom and I met. And we wanted to bring you here to this very special place so we could show you. Very good power, gold star. Next up, the superpower to bear with me. This video is sponsored by Keeps. Are you in need of an affordable hair loss treatment subscription service? No, I think I'm actually doing pretty good. Keeps is an affordable hair loss treatment subscription service that helps men keep their hair. Keeps is convenient and can be delivered right to your door instead of needing to go to the store. My chemicals! Keeps has a 24/7 care and support network of advisors and specialists to help you with any hair goals you may have. In addition to hair loss treatment, Keeps has a thickening shampoo and conditioner that makes your hair robust, powerful, and will demand respect. Keeps has everything your hair needs delivered right to your door with a subscription service that will remind you when you need refills to continue your hair domination goals. Hair loss stops with Keeps. Get 50% off your first order. Go to keeps.com/ice cream sandwich or click the link in the description, keeps.com/ice cream sandwich. Self-cloning. This is also very good. Need to clean a whole house? Need some errands done? How about cloning yourself until every minute task is done by one person? You could also travel anywhere you want at crazy speeds. Point yourself at the direction your destination is. Then clone yourself. Then both of you clone. And then all of you clone. And then you fall over. The only thing is that you might not survive the landing. Actually, wait. If this one works by Naruto rules, then that's really good. You could clone yourself a ton. All of your clones study different parts of things. And then when you recombine, all of the knowledge combines too. You could become like a super mega brain genius in like the span of an afternoon. And I think we could all think of someone who could really make use of that. Is it you? No. What? No. I'm the one who made the video. Why would I? What? What the heck? That doesn't even make sense. I'm the one who made this video. How does it even make sense? Thanks for watching. Sorry I was gone for a long time. More stuff coming for the channel, coming down the pipeline. I hope your New Year's was good, and I hope you have a nice day. Thanks again for watching. See ya. Hey, what's going on? You okay? You feeling sad? Hey, it's okay. You know what always cheers me up? Subscribing to my YouTube channel. Hey, and while you're at it, maybe you can share it with some friends. Hey, what's going on? In the last video, I showed a game that I was playing recently, and a lot of people was wondering what it was, and I didn't show the title of the game. That's my bad. The game is called Potion Craft. I'm not sponsored by them. I just legitimately like the game. I am launching an NFT. I am just kidding. Could you imagine, though? All right. Hopefully that's softened the blow enough. Raid Shadow Legends is a mobile game I'm sure you're hearing about for the first time just now. Let's go check it out. It'll make all of your dreams come true. Come on, you're gonna love it. I said come on. Raid Shadow Legends is a game about building a team of champions, putting them in an epic battle, and laying waste to endless dangerous enemies. Sounds like my Friday night, if you know what I'm talking about. What the hell are you doing on Friday night? This Halloween season, Raid has a bunch of spicy new champions to play. I'm loving these new Halloween-themed champions, like Harvest Jack, who looks like he could kill me easily, Brackus Shifter, who looks like he could kill me easily, and Masked Fearmonger, who looks misunderstood. I like that Raid Shadow Legends doesn't only have one game mode, but also a PvP mode. Get all your cool guys together and go head to head with another group of cool guys. Only the coolest of guys will be left standing. So you probably don't have much of a chance, actually. This month, there's a jam-packed set of Halloween events and activities for you to enjoy. Tons of rewards and tournaments and special fragment events to get some of those aforementioned Halloween champions. If you want to get a huge head start in Raid, all you have to do is hit the link in the description or scan my QR code and you'll get an epic hero Shanoru, 200k silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill, and 1 ancient shard, so you can summon an awesome champion as soon as you get in game. Good luck, and I will see you in the battlefield. Okay, Minecraft, the game that everybody really has. My God, do you know how big Minecraft is? Bigger than Tetris. That is insane. This game is actually historic. The year is 2009, and Notch is feeling some inspiration from the block mining game no one has ever heard of and Fun Eyesore. He put 2 and 2 together, and that was the beginning of the end. of Minecraft. He started making Minecraft using his programming knowledge in Java, making the grass, the trees, the pig. Is that supposed to be a pig? Why does the pig look like that? Okay, there's the pig. That looks much more accurate. I guess you get to stay also. At this point, the game was a fraction of what it would eventually be, and this was around the time I found it. I was surfing the World Wide Web when I came across some web forum that was talking about water elevators and how to construct them. Interesting, I think, as I delved deeper. Turns out it was free weekend, and I could download the game and try it out. And the rest is history! Now, hundreds of millions of people play the game, and now it's officially the biggest game of all time. Kinda cool. Ever since that point, I have loved Minecraft. I remember being really into it, to the point of making a high school presentation about how Minecraft and video games in general are good for you. Yes, I know. I was very cringe. Too bad I never grew out of it. The presentation was supposed to be about how video games improve reaction times, which I don't think that's even true. In reality, I was just coping with my addiction to video games. I've since turned my life around. I no longer play League of Legends. Minecraft has since gotten an education edition, but before that happened, claiming that video games are good for your mental health was a weird take. Video games as an education is a really new concept, and people in the education world would laugh at you and say video games cause violence, you little ding-dong, what are you talking about? But not anymore. Now, kids get to play Minecraft for education, and that's great. I'm not bitter at all. All I gotta do to learn was timetables. And I was really bad at those. I don't know how many hours I've played in Minecraft, but I know that it's a lot. And a lot of what I did was make a little house and then waiting for it to rain and then listening to the rain, but inside. Oh, here it comes, here it comes. Woo! Mechanically, there's a lot of things that make Minecraft fun, but oh, that rain, delicious. If you haven't heard, there's also a game coming out sometime called Hytale. It's a game that kind of sprouted from Minecraft because it was a Minecraft server, still is a Minecraft server. You can go play on it right now. And it's not out yet, but I'm very excited. And the reason I bring it up is because look at the sound in this game. I guess you can't look at it, but here it is. It's so good! Oh my God. I could live in this game. Just saying, Hytale, if you need a beta tester, I think there was one really crucial thing that made Minecraft as popular it is today. YouTube has changed their algorithm a bunch of times. At one point, YouTube changed the algorithm to favor watch time, which means if somebody watched 10 minutes, that video has 10 minutes of watch time. If 2 people watch 10 minutes of video, that's 20 minutes of watch time. Turns out, little bit of a loophole, you can play 1 hour of Minecraft, cut it up into 6 10-minute videos, and post unbelievably large amounts of content. Way more than like a makeup YouTuber or skit YouTuber who has to like plan and skit and set up the camera. Minecraft YouTubers went crazy. Minecraft videos were everywhere. Minecraft in suggested, Minecraft in trending, Minecraft in my bed. Hello? Yes, there's someone in my bed. It was Minecraft. Hello? 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 YouTube was able to reach billions of people. If Minecraft didn't have an entire social media platforming it, that would have costed a lot. And for an indie developer, that would have been really impossible. In advertisements, I mean. None of this is to say that Minecraft didn't pop off because it wasn't a fun game. The game was really fun. Now it's important for it to be as popular as it is. I'm just saying, YouTube really blew it up. And it, like, in a way, was kind of a golden age. I remember playing Minecraft while watching Minecraft, specifically Yogscast and their Jaffa Cakes Factory series. That was the good stuff. I also just want to mention, congratulations to the LA, how do you pronounce this? On winning the vote. This little guy can go out and pick up more items for you, which is awesome. These guys are cute, but this one's just the F3 button, and this one rusts. I'm sorry, you guys. With the LA, how do you pronounce this? Coming in with so much utility, it's a no-brainer for me. He can just, like, come around, pick up some stuff, and come back with more of it. And that's amazing. Where's my can of whoop-ass? Speaking of additions to Minecraft, Microsoft, if you are listening, here are some random Minecraft feature ideas that I have. Free of charge, you're welcome. X-ray glasses that you can see ores a couple of blocks beyond the surface, so strip mining is more efficient. Personally, I hate spending time mining. You go underground and then later come back out looking like you're old enough to remember the Black Plague. Earmuffs that lessen the noise from mobs unless you're like right next to them. Need I say more? A hot air balloon for traveling far away without needing to get over any mountains or fall down ravines. Oh no. An item like a crystal necklace or something that a compass always points to. You can hang it on the wall of like a different base that you have. You could put it on your horse. You can sneak and put it in the back pocket of your friend if you want to stalk them. So in like addition, I'd like to say that Oh yeah. I got merch now. It looks like this. And you can order it until the 29th, and then it's gone. You can pick it up at this website if you want. So if you already have ordered some, thank you very much. It is very much appreciated. Subscribe if you want. And ultimately, just thank you for watching. You know, I used to be able to solve a Rubik's Cube, and I can't remember anymore. What the hell's with that? Okay, from what I can tell, it seems as if you have been abused emotionally by customers. Like, kind of like this, but emotionally. How does this make you feel? Bad and rude customers are everywhere. So much so that when I asked you about your rude customer experiences, thousands of you replied with your own stories. That's a lot of stories. Why did it take you a year to make this video? Let's begin. From Emberly, I remember one time I had a lady walk into this ice cream shop I worked at. She brought her 2 kids with her. We're used to seeing kids all the time. But what was odd was that she ordered a 2-scoop cone, but when her kids asked for something too, she got all mad and said, "Neither of you scored a goal in your game today." So she refused to get them ice cream. I felt so bad having to ring up her order while watching her kids cry and beg. Even though she was polite to me, it's the saddest customer experience I've ever had. This woman is an actual cartoon villain. You sign your kids up for sports, and then when they don't perform like a professional grade athlete, you taunt them with ice cream? Who does that? Clearly, in this situation, there's only one solution. Yeah, it doesn't feel very good, does it? If we were to open up the dictionary to see the definition of evil, it's actually just this mom in there. This dictionary is crazy. Another person telling this story is simply an employee with no corporate power, but if I was the manager of that store, I would have something to say. Actually, moms who punish their kids by going to ice cream stores and getting ice cream for themselves, except for but not their kids, but they bring their kids anyway so they can make them feel bad, they have to get their ice cream with spiders. It's just company policy. Sorry, it's company policy. There's nothing I can do. Have a nice day. Enjoy your spiders. For that, Mom, I have a book recommendation. It's called How to Be a Good Parent. And I think it has some profound insight. Some pretty good insight. Anyway, that mom sucks. I'm sorry you had to witness that. And I'm also sorry you have to witness this. Witness what? Why are you looking at me like that? What's happening? What's going on? This video is sponsored by Incogni! No, spare me! Let me introduce to you a data broker. They follow you and collect your information and then turn around and sell it.
Your address is 5492.
Hey! This is all for the purpose of profiting off of your data so ads can be served to you. Hey, you should buy some corn dogs! Hey, you should get stuffed! How did they know? Well, this is where Incogni comes in. There is a way to get data brokers to stop tracking you. But it is super convoluted and takes a lot of time and energy. You have to find the brokers that are taking your data, send removal requests, and then follow up with them to see if they're complying and take action if they aren't, which is a whole nother thing. And then there might be new brokers that take their place. So you have to do it all over again. Well, Incogni takes care of all of that. Incogni data professionals will find, request, and track all of that on your behalf so that you can finally get some well-deserved rest that you need. I know I need some rest. I'm so tired. Click the link in the description to try Incogni today at www.incogni.com/ice cream sandwich. That's www.incogni.com/ice cream sandwich. Thanks Incogni for sponsoring this video. Herbal Assailant says, we had a UPS drop off in our store, so it wasn't uncommon for customers to need help bringing in heavy boxes. But one day, a customer creeped up to the door and pointed out one of my coworkers and motioned them to come outside. That's deeply concerning. To me. A few minutes later, my coworker comes back in with a heavy box over his shoulder. Also, this box is like a cobbled together mess of different boxes and duct tape, and walks with the customer to the UPS desk. A few minutes pass and they both come back to the front of the store with the box and bring it back to the customer's car. Once my coworker's back inside, I ask him what that was all about, and he says he can't ship his package for him. It was a deer, an entire dead deer, in an unrefrigerated box. Welcome to UPS Shipping 101. I am Professor. First lesson, what are you allowed to ship? Does the explosive go in the allowed or not allowed category? Not allowed category. Correct. Yes. Good job. Does the mysterious unlabeled pathogen go in the allowed or not allowed category? Not allowed. That is correct. Does the dead unrefrigerated deer go into the allowed or not allowed category? Allowed. Nope. Wrong. Bad. Surprisingly, there are reasons for people to ship deer. Taxidermy, meat processing, scientific stuff, but you do need to put it on ice and not in a warm box for several days. And for what I thought were obvious reasons, it just needs to be refrigerated. Hey, I got you some ice cream. Where is it? It's in the cabinet. It's your favorite flavor! Maybe it's a little presumptuous of me, but it feels obvious that you can't ship hazardous materials. Like if something is a hazard to someone's health, you wouldn't be allowed to ship it. Hi, I'm here to ship a package. Okay, and what are you shipping? It's uranium-235. It's what? Uranium-235. Uranium-235? Yeah. Cal Johnson says, once had a customer tell me with absolute confidence that I wasn't allowed to buy things from the store that I worked at. You're not allowed to buy these items here. You're an employee and that's unfair to the customers. I deserve priority. I think deserve is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. Sorry, buddy. Sometimes other people exist and want to buy things. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Buddy, if there's one thing that makes me mad, it's people that make up rules to benefit themselves and they don't even have the authority to make the rules. Like that one lady who told people that they can't be on the beach near her house. It's not even your property. What, do you also get mad when people drive near your house? Other people exist. And if you want to know other things that make me mad, I made a video on it. So that's, you can put that in your back pocket for when you're looking for something to do. Oh, a wallet. Hey, Anyway, that guy sucks, and he doesn't deserve things just because he wants it. Sorry, I had to go through that. Pet. Ravage Fallout says, I worked at an amusement park for many, many years as a supervisor. The one that I remember most is being yelled at because her child that was very clearly not tall enough for the ride, and was fine with it, was not allowed on. She was full force screaming and yelling too. This woman's mother even apologized to me. It baffles me that even today, some people don't understand that safety measures are implemented for your safety. I get it. It's a crazy concept. If the supervisor was like, yeah, I don't care about safety measures, go on through, then your kid might not make it to the end. That's just crazy. Imagine you could get all the things you wanted in life from screaming. What kind of world would that be? One large popcorn, please. Okay, then your total comes to $20.50. All right. I imagine screaming as a currency, it would be an interesting economy. Auction houses would be a lot different, I think. I think the moral of the story is, something. Thanks for watching. If you're looking for other things to watch, I have bad customers that I myself have encountered, and this other video that I mentioned earlier. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go get myself a chocolate bar. Hello, sir. How may Yeah! So, what was the solution? Help me! Of course! Here's a Band-Aid! No! And remember, if you want to stand up for an employee that a customer is being really rude to, repeat after me. Violence. Hey guys, what is 2 plus 2? I don't know. Probably 2. I think it could be 4. Who even made math? Yeah, it's probably just another 2. There's already 2's in there. Probably another 2, I bet. When will this be useful to know? Like, what am I going to do with my life anyway? Like, what will the future hold? What is something that I need to worry about? Guys! What do you imagine it sounds like when we play 8 different trumpets randomly at the same time? Well, I wonder what we can find out. Get on the ground! It's sweet, salty, crunchy, and savory all at once. I want to sleep. That's you. You're all comfortable? You want anything? Snacks, water? You good? Great. Have you guys gotten any work done at all? Where's the guy in charge here? Oh my god. 17-year-old invents easy and cheap test for common disease. 15-year-old makes popular mobile game with power of thought. 16-year-old makes ominous sphere that knows your thoughts and can tell you the future. Oh god. Hello? Can I come in?
No, go away.
I thought, there's no way this is gonna taste good. So I bought one. Oh no, I'm falling. Oh god, my ranch and the peanut butter jelly.
What we are seeing now is a victim of immeasurable psychic damage. His facial expression is a telltale sign of irreversible harm done to billions of neurons and synapses. Poor guy might be dead.
This one feels sticky. Woo! Sorry. Perfect. Yes! No! Hey baby, it's just me, Tony. How you doing, Tony? How you doing? Good to see you, Tony. Good to see you. What's going on up here? Tony's here. Tony's here. Hey, Tony, how you doing? Good to see you, Tony. Tony's good to see you. Hey, what's going on up here? Tony's here. Hey, Tony, I haven't seen you forever, Tony. Tony. Watch. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to unsubscribe. In these boxes are the worst hobbies of all time. Once I show you what's in these boxes, you're gonna be like, Andy, you were so right. These are the worst. Oh, you're so correct. it's smart.
Somebody help me.
In life, there are many, many hobbies. Some of them are pretty neat. But what are the worst ones? Well, I have the worst hobbies right here. You may disagree with some of them, but this one, I promise you, everybody will agree it's the worst one. I'm gonna open it, and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's the worst one. Let's begin. Free soloing. If you do this, I cannot believe that you do this. If you don't know, free soloing is just rock climbing, but without any ropes. Isn't that dangerous? Correct! Phew, I thought... I think rock climbing itself with ropes is already very impressive. That's a lot of strength, dexterity, endurance. But I think I'm missing something with the whole no ropes thing. I'm gonna ask a question that I request nobody make fun of me for. Is free soloing any different from rock climbing? He doesn't know. I'm sorry. Like if you don't have the ropes, is there a difficulty difference? I feel like the only difficulty difference is that if you mess up, you just don't get to climb cliffs anymore. Or anything anymore. Think of it like racing, where if you took out the seatbelts and the rolling cage and the airbags and everything that made it safe, it feels like racing in a race with that car would be just as difficult, right? It's just if you mess up, you don't race anymore. That used to be a guy. I personally like to make mistakes without dire consequences. Oops, I made a mistake. No, that's not a mistake. That's just a happy little accident. No, Bob. This is the end of the road for me. You will never catch me in a million years free soloing. I don't think there's anything that would make it worth it. Hey man, we should go rock climbing. Yeah, okay. That sounds fun. Yeah, and what if we went without the safety equipment? What? Yeah, like we took off the ropes and the harnesses and we just went solo, freely. Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's a terrible idea. What are you talking about? That sounds fun and exhilarating. That sounds dangerous in a fun and exhilarating way. No, in a good way to end up in the hospital kind of way. Well, Brett's out there doing it. He's probably having tons of fun. I'm freaking out so hard right now. Fine, let's make a bet. We're gonna go free soloing, and if we end up in the hospital, then I give you 50 bucks. I do need 50 bucks. I don't know, it just seems dangerous for no reason. And that's why it's one of the worst. You just make me so nervous up there. Wouldn't you rather try baking? At least put a mattress at the bottom. Personally, I'd rather stay inside and afraid of the world. It's better this way. Next up, I'd like to show you something. Oh God, I think he's sponsored by War Thunder.
You would be correct.
Run! Are you into vehicle combat video games? Well, then you'll love War Thunder, as it is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made. Take command of over 2,500 real-world tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships, ranging from biplanes to armored cars of the 1920s to the fighter jets and main battle tanks of today. War Thunder has incredibly detailed vehicles with realistic graphics and authentic sound effects, so you don't have to make your own sound effects, no matter how fun that may be. War Thunder has a worldwide community of over 95 million players.
We love comprehensive vehicle combat.
I personally recommend War Thunder's comprehensive customization systems for all kinds of vehicles, including community-created ones, meaning you can make your vehicle truly reflect what's inside your heart. Oh my God. War Thunder offers 3 distinct game modes for whatever player type you may be. There's fast-paced and simplified physics of arcade mode, simulator mode for those looking for a no guardrails challenge style, and realistic mode for a balance between intensity and authenticity. However you choose to play is available. Play War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or mobile devices now by using my links in the pinned comment or video description. All players on PC and consoles that haven't played in over the past 6 months will also receive a massive bonus pack across all platforms that includes multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive vehicle decorator Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account for a limited time only! Thanks War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Number 2. Pokemon card scalping. Collecting cards isn't the bad part. I myself have collected cards. Collecting cards is fun. It's been around forever. People did it with baseball, there's Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh! Nothing wrong with buying a box and just cracking packs. Who cares? That sounds fun. But there's a certain type of Pokemon card collector that nobody likes. The one that goes out and buys everything and fights with people, and then there's nothing left over for anybody else. What are we doing? You're ruining the experience for other fans. You're effectively taking away toys from kids, like little Timmy here. And it's not just kids, it's Big Timmy too.
I want Pokemon.
I know. Me too, Big Timmy.
I also want Pokemon.
Oh! Okay. What happened to good old-fashioned burglary? If one were to just burgle, you could hide your identity, and you don't have to fight people in public anymore. I'm here to steal Pokemon cards. Put them in the bag. Did you bring a weapon? No. Then I'm not gonna give you any Pokemon cards. But I'm burglaring. Also, what's with your mask? I thought it looked cool. Hey, give that back! No, you're not giving it back. Did you put the Pokemon cards in the bag yet? Yes, I did. Yay! I did it! It's so bad. People in the community are talking about how they just can't get any cards for their kids. This person on Reddit says, I started collecting with my 6-year-old last year. We haven't found anything in stores since March. She used to ask me about buying packs every week. After months of nothing, she stopped asking about 2 months ago. That sucks. Same story. We haven't seen anything since last November. Wasn't able to get any for her for Christmas or her birthday in February. And by the time she stopped asking, I was happy that she didn't have to be disappointed anymore. Ultimately, stop it. Number 3, cave diving. Specifically going into tiny holes in the ground that are difficult to fit in. Some cave exploring is cool and beautiful even. The beauty of nature takes many forms, but I cannot understand the drive to go underground in a hole that's barely fit for an insect to find another room full of rocks and like a lot of spiders probably. You were just in a room full of rocks. I don't think you needed to break your ribs to get to the next one. It's great that you want to get outside, but then you go outside to go inside of the outside. Just stay outside. The great outdoors, the sunshine, the fresh air. Oh look, a dirty, dark, muddy hole in the ground. Bro, get out of there. It's way better out here. I can have just as much fun in here as I have out there. Thank you very much. A butterfly literally just landed on my head and I'm listening to the birds chirp. How can a dark, dusty cave ever compare? The cave experience is just as a magical experience as you're having. A spider just landed on my head and I can listen to the natural, relaxing ambience of the cave. I have to be missing something. I don't know what it is. Am I too cynical? I feel like I have to be missing something. There's not a lot of hobbies that go from dangerous to lethal if it happens to rain that day. I don't think we're making it, boys. Even if I tried cave diving, I don't think I'd make it very far. Probably get like stuck between 2 stalactites at the entrance. I don't think we're making it, boys. Maybe it's a desire to like explore and adventure and find something new. You know, there's always a Minecraft for that. Or Hytale. Plus, you guys freak me out. Look at this guy moving through a submerged section of a cave. You guys freak me out. I'm freaking out. Okay. Number 4, barehanded fish catching. It's actually really impressive. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to touch fish. I don't like the texture. Moving on. Now, are you ready to see the worst hobby? The one I alluded to in the beginning of the video? Well, there's a guy in there. What? Hey, get out of there. Shoo! Here is the worst hobby, which is simply the worser version of cave diving. Underwater cave diving. It's the same thing with the same freaking dangers, except for this time, there's a terrifying timer on it. Uh-oh, did you get lost and you can't find your way out? Eventually, that's gonna be a really big problem. In regular caves, there's like bats and stuff, but in underwater caves, who knows what's in there? Perhaps a creature humans have never encountered before, and probably for a good reason. You don't even need to have a boulder crush you in an underwater cave to meet your demise. You just need to be there for an amount of time. Do you guys remember how much oxygen we have left? Well, that guy's dead. Do you remember? This gives me a bad feeling. I had a hard enough time playing Subnautica. There is never in 100 million gabillion years I'm ever gonna be found underwater in a cave. Unless you give me $50. Just kidding. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. If you guys have any hobbies that you do, that's pretty cool. I don't like guts or gore, which has made me very opposed to dissecting animals, specifically in science class. I had a junior high school science class where we just had to learn science stuff, which is generally how junior high school science classes go. One of these classes, we had to dissect a frog and learn what's inside. Very gross. I don't like that. So everybody was getting ready to do frog science. Lots of groups, lots of dead frogs, and me, who really did not want to cut open a frog, let alone any animal. And because I didn't really want to cut anything open, when I was going to join my group, I was doing it very slowly and lazily. I did some stretches to buy me a bunch of time before the inevitable of frog gutting. But then my teacher looks over at me and notices me standing like this. Andy, you don't have to dissect a frog today. I look up, confused. There was some pause. Do you need to go to the nurse's office? She thinks I'm feeling sick and that I'm prepping myself physically to go open a frog and cut its flesh. I noticed an opportunity. Oh, I don't know. I just need to breathe a little, I think. Feel free to sit down. I'm not going to force you to dissect a frog if you're going to be sick. Oh, yeah. Thanks. So, I do. My group was a little salty that they had to do all the work and I got to skip out, but I didn't care because I didn't have to cut open a frog. So I was thinking about that story lately and I realized something. That affected me 0% in life. I am no different as a person because I didn't cut open a frog. You want to know what's inside a frog? Guts. I don't need to cut open a frog to know what's inside. Do not misunderstand me. Education is very important, but does anybody else feel like the pursuit of good letter sometimes misses the point of going to school? Like, looking back at school, I think there's a ton of things that could be changed. First of all, bring back recess. We need more breaks. Why do we have to work all the time? I want to sleep. And for teachers too. We're all working too much. We have so much technology now that could help the teaching process. And with the saved time, we could just chill, let the information digest a little, you know? And like, just get rid of the frog dissecting stuff and like some other things, except for that one time where my science teacher came in with a bunch of potassium and put it inside a bucket of water and didn't tell us what was about to happen. Keep that class. But the other classes, like the frog dissecting, I don't want that. This is biased, but I think that recess would be a better option where we could do, I don't know, something fun. There was also this money class in junior high school where we had to start a business. But I must ask first, do you know how to protect yourself from this? Yeah! Clearly not. But do you know how to protect yourself online? Let me tell you about NordVPN. NordVPN is a virtual private network service that helps you protect yourself online. That was because you didn't use NordVPN. That's on you. NordVPN can help you stop that intrusive tracking. This boomerang represents NordVPN. You have to give it a second. NordVPN also helps you block malware so you can protect your computer. NordVPN saved my marriage. You can use NordVPN on multiple devices to help protect your loved ones as well. Use promo code Ice Cream Sandwich to get NordVPN's 2-year plan plus 4 extra months free. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Thank you, NordVPN, for sponsoring this video. I had a class once where the class was split into 3 separate groups and tasked with making something to sell. And it was actually super fun. One group decided on making t-shirts, another group decided on making special pens with a bunch of frillies on it, and our group decided to make magnets. We had some people to promote and sell, some people manufacture the magnets, and I designed and doodled the magnets. They're really old now, but this is what they look like. We were tasked with calculating costs, and we had to aim to make a profit on our product. The t-shirt team did the worst. The pens did second best, and we did the best. We made somewhere north of like $100. But for some reason, there was a teacher from a different shop class that thought she could just take our money. You guys used school equipment for making this product, so you have to pay me for the materials, which was really unfair because we invested in the magnet paper, the printing, and everything, except for using a slice cutter machine in school. That was the only thing we used. But she ended up taking like 50 of our dollars. If we were told we needed to pay fees before the class started, that would have been like whatever. But she made up that rule out of thin air. I don't think she even took money from anybody else either. I'm pretty sure we got robbed by a teacher. Either way, other than that part, it was a super fun class that had real world application and I found to be very useful. Most of the class was figure it out yourself kind of style, so I think it could be a little bit better, like teach us how to make a budget or here's how you don't get robbed. But at the end of the day, still thumbs up class, and I think that should be We should look into doing that more for other people. What is one thing that we deal with daily but are not educated about in the slightest? One time I was watching a video about a story, and this guy was talking about a lady that was fighting at the store. He was in line to get some groceries, just a normal thing, and she budged him out of thin air, like an adult did that. He said, "Hey, please don't budge me," and she says, "Oh, I've always been here," as if he doesn't have eyes. And then when confronted by multiple people, she yelled at them and said that she was the victim of being bullied. And it made me so mad. Like, how could you even think that you're going to trick people, and if you're going to play the victim, everybody saw you? I thought about it for like an hour out of my day. Later, I was watching more videos, and I saw a bunch that were like catching ghost footage on camera, and it was obviously fake. Who believes this kind of stuff? It's a good thing I'm not gullible and have critical thinking skills. Hey everybody, remember that story the other day about budging? I lied. I wanted to see how many people believed me if I lied on the internet, and wow, it was a lot of you. First of all, don't lie on the internet. It is bad and I'm easily fooled. I think maybe if there was a class on media literacy, especially since the thing we're doing the most is consuming media, I think that'd be a pretty good class. Maybe I'm saying that because I'm just really embarrassed that I got tricked. Or, here's an idea. What if instead of any class, there were no classes? And like, students could just pick something to study, and then all the teachers would be mentors for the students and give them direction and resources to learn what they need to learn to achieve what they want. Like inventing a machine or learning about bacteria. We probably have weekly articles where some student invents something that changes the world. 17-year-old invents easy and cheap test for common disease. 15-year-old makes popular mobile game with power of thought. 16-year-old makes ominous fear that knows your thoughts and can tell you the future. Are these good ideas? I have no idea. Did I share them on the internet? Yeah, what are you gonna do about it? Thanks for watching. If you have an idea for a class that should be in school,
Open your third eye. Focus. What do you see?
I've been over this intro like a million times and I can't get it right, so I'm just gonna say it. I've had a premonition dream. What is it? What is that? What do you say? You don't know what that is? What is specifically define a premonition dream? Oops.
A premonition is a vision, a gut feeling, or another experience that grants you knowledge of things that haven't happened yet.
That sounds like dumb poo-poo. Because it is. I'm not a superstitious person. I would sooner go and re-damage my ankle than go and see a psychic for my own personal benefit. But I will admit that some dreams do have some meaning behind them. Like how I can be stressed in real life about money, and then I'm feeling and experiencing the same thing in a dream, but the only difference is that I can fly and my dad is Santa. There's some connection between the real world and the dream world there. But to be able to tell the future in a dream? That just doesn't make any sense. So why am I here claiming such things as having a premonition dream? Because I don't really know any other way to explain it. Okay, so here it is. We fade in. It's me. The year was a couple years ago. The place, basement. I've been playing Mario all day, and I was doing very well for myself, almost completing the entire game until I hit one castle level that was a little bit harder than average. There was no checkpoint in this level where I really needed it, so I did what anybody else would do after playing Mario for 10 hours. I went to bed. And you know when you do like one thing all day, almost obsessively, and then you go to bed and you end up dreaming about it? Well, that's what happened to me. And that night, I dreamt of Mario. Hey, what's going on? It was me in that castle level again. The sensation was as if I was watching myself play. The level was exactly the same in the dream. There was this brown snake block thing that you had to ride through the level. You were tasked to stay on top of it without jumping off into a bunch of spikes. And while doing that, you're also responsible for dodging all of these spike balls. And then the snake approaches this hole, and it goes down the hole, and you're supposed to get off and continue the level. And that's where it would have been really nice to have a checkpoint. So the level would have been easier, manageable. But in my dream, it starts to go down, and I don't get off. I watch as I descend into the pit. I should be getting off, but I don't. And as common knowledge goes, this is where Mario would die. But in my dream, the camera followed down the hole. Very unexpected. Did not expect it. I didn't expect it. But there I was, descending. And at the bottom, there was a door and a checkpoint, which is exactly what I needed. But it was a dream. The next day, I get up and I go try to play again. At this moment, I remember the dream. And I don't know why I tried it, but I decided to copy what happened in my dream. I bet you can tell where this is going. I tried the dream thing in real life and it worked. And now the level was gonna be a ton easier. There's a couple of ways this could have happened, but one sec, let me paint you some perspective. That's like you having a dream of you finding a secret box in your attic that you've never seen, and it has like cheese in it. Maybe M&Ms. Doesn't matter. You go and try to see in real life, and it's actually there. Like, how do you explain that? How do you explain that? How are you gonna do it? How are you gonna do that? I can't. That's what happened to me, and I know I can't explain it. Perhaps you wonder. This was all my unconscious mind telling me something from what I saw earlier in that day in my dream. Well, let me tell you, as the new seer of the universe. No, it wasn't. Did I look at a walkthrough or cheat sheet? No. Did I get tips or advice from my friends or family? No. All I did that day was play Mario and eat and then sleep. And ignoring the sad undertone of that day plan, I had no exposure to anything that would hint my subconscious to tell me that in the dream. Either I have an actual third eye, or that was a 1,000,001 coincidence. Who's gonna be the judge? Us. Right now. Non-stop, like, roll it. Okay.
Why?
Because it's like...
It's kind of...
Because I have this... So I got 20-sided dice. I got 6-sided dice. You can look at the dice.
I'm zooming in on your forehead quick.
You got...
Ooh.
Many dice.
And a coin.
This is 2-sided dice. Heads.
It's tails.
3.
It's a 6.
It is a 6. This one's 20-sided.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna choose... You can look at my face, by the
I
way.
refuse.
Let's do, like, 15.
Okay.
So, 6. Wait, how many sides did it
It
have?
was an 8.
Oh, 2. That's pretty close.
You're at like 0% right now.
Yeah.
That's not very good.
No.
Andy.
I forgot to guess.
Oh my god! No, don't go back to the coin. You've already failed the coin.
I like the coin because it has higher odds.
No.
2.
No, we didn't.
Ah! What are the chances?
It's
Zoom in on my face.
already zoomed. Oh, wrong way.
It didn't work.
Yeah, you were blurry.
It didn't work. That's a wrap. In the end, I beat the level with the new checkpoint and went on to beat the rest of the game. I still don't believe in psychics or fortune tellers or this guy, but that dream, it raises questions. Thanks for watching. Check out this other video that I have, and if you do, then I will appear in your dreams and we can hang out, but I will not stop farting. Hey. You ever heard of honey? Could you do that a little less seductive? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to. Just read it normally. Have you ever been shopping online and thought to yourself, I wish I had a free online shopping tool that automatically finds the best promo codes and applies them to my cart? Well, Honey is a free online shopping tool that automatically finds the best promo codes and applies them to your cart. Get the best deals on over 30,000 well-known stores such as Best Buy, Sephora, Ulta, cocaine from the guy behind this recording studio. That one's a lie, don't say that. Honey is free and easy to install with just 2 clicks. One over here, another over here. That's easier than doing a backflip. Don't try to do a backflip. You're gonna get hurt. No, I can do it. Honey is loved by everyone with over 100,000 5-star ratings on the Google Chrome store. Honey, good. Need a chair? I know I do. With Honey, it's easy to pick one up with great savings. Oh my god. That's really good. How much does Honey cost? You just said it was free. Not having Honey is literally passing up free money. Follow this link to start saving now. JoinHoney.com/ice-cream-sandwich. Say it normally or we don't pay you. That's JoinHoney.com/ice-cream-sandwich. Thank you, Honey, for sponsoring this video. You ever been on an obstacle course that's full of mud? Well, if you need anything to do on the weekend, I rank that 10 out of 10 on this ranking system I just made up. It's actually really fun. Kelly and I just went last week, and it is Fun. Rewind 6 months ago. Kelly and I are talking. She's like, let's do a mud run. And I said, yeah, even though this isn't something I would normally want to do, because I don't like messy things. Like Nickelodeon slime. Yeah! Woo! I love this. I love this. I'm having fun and loving this. It's so fun. But I did it anyway. Turns out doing stuff out of your comfort zone is fun. Because now look at me. I'm like a salesman at your doorstep trying to sell you mud runs. Mud. If you've never been in a mud run, this is what it's like. Apparently there's 2 kinds of mud runs. One that's competitive and people actually try to win. And the one that I went to, which is for casuals. You just go at your own pace. You could just walk. You could just sit in the mud. You could leave and go home. See you later. After the race starts, you see a lot of your run-of-the-mill obstacles. A wall, you gotta get over that. Monkey bars, a muddy pool of water full of mud and water, and pee-pee. And there was also a tire flip, but this one was on a hill, so it made flipping the tire really hard and dangerous. But it's a mud run. There's lawless land over here. It's lawless. It's without law. Kelly and I at this point were having a lot of fun, but thank God that this was a casual mud run because I could not do any of the upper body strength things. Like monkey bars. I could never do those when I was a kid. And that translated into now where I still couldn't do them. And it ruined my arms. I think I completed about 1 of the obstacles. Moving on. The rest of the race was mostly long paths of running with just a couple of wooden beams sprinkled around that you had to get over. Woo! Some of the running left the main muddy area and went into the woods, which I was a little worried about because there was lots of rocks and roots and it was really steep. I don't know. I've heard of stories where people just trip and they hit their head weird and then they stop living. I didn't want to fall and hit my head weird and then become part of the obstacle course. But hey, that's the name of the game. Baby, danger, obstacles, racing, mud. Thankfully, I didn't die. Kelly and I ran for a while, walked for a while. This part of the race was hard because I was tired. I find it really hard to run for a long time when you have 5 pounds of mud on each foot. Oh, to be young and full of energy. Also old and full of energy. The last part of the race was really, really steep and really, really muddy. They made it the muddiest part of the race. I mean, just standing in place, you would slide. At the bottom of the steep hill was another large pool of water that you had to swim through. After all the mud that you just ran through, you'd be really messy. So this one was so you could clean off. Wash off all the gunk. Then there was a really tall thing that I'm surprised nobody fell from and sued the place. And then there was a finish line. And everybody got a medal and a t-shirt. And it was really fun. I was surprised that I had a good time because, I'm not a guy that likes messy stuff. But I had a good time. And I recommend it to anybody who's, like, bored. You're not motivated. Just watching, like, stupid garbage on YouTube. Go to a mud run. Yeah, try it out. You might like it. And Kelly and I treated ourselves to a race well completed with McDonald's. We did it. That's a winner's meal. Is that a mud run? Okay. Last time I did something that was really out of my character was dance ensemble. I don't like being on stage, and I can't dance, but I did it. And I had a lot of fun. And then I did it again. If I were to take anything away from this, just try things that you don't want to do, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun! I have a little bit of news to tell you. If you're thankful for 1 million people subscribing to your channel and you know it, clap your hands. 1 million subscribers. Isn't that something? I don't have to tell you that 1 million is a big number. I don't have to tell you that this channel is larger than 93 countries on Earth. I don't have to tell you that this channel is 43,000 people larger than Djibouti. And I don't have to tell you that if we went to war with Djibouti, we would have a strategic advantage. So I won't. But I will tell you that I'm thankful. All of this happening at a pretty busy time in my life, so really came out of nowhere. You've been patient with me and helped me achieve something I actually never thought would happen in my life. I'm lucky to have you. And if there's one thing I want to say to you guys, it's this. Thanks.
Well, Bob, the weather is beautiful out here as we wait to see the main event.
That's right, Sean. The birds are chirping, the sun is shining, and we're ready to see some awesome skateboarding tricks.
Let's move over to our first competitor.
Ooh, let's see if he can recover. Look at this guy. What do you think when you see him? Uncool, somewhat unsightly, blue shirt. It's tragic. This was me when I was younger. Not me now, but when I was younger. And when I was younger, I became very influenced by the Tony Hawk Pro Skater video games. They were awesome. The tricks, the characters, the Neversoft logo intro. Gross. I thought skateboarding was so cool. Yeah! So I thought, if I became a skateboarder, then I would be cool. I mean, what could go wrong? Just get a skateboard, sign up for some classes, then I'm cool. It's easy. Oh, and plus, my parents were willing to do anything to get me out of the house, so they agreed. On the first day of class, the instructor gathered all the kids around to set expectations. He talked about the simplest trick that we would be starting with, which was the ollie. He explained how to do the ollie and how to approach the trick. And then he said to not expect to get it right away because it took him a year to get it down. A year? I want to learn how to do the cool video game thing, not put an actual effort into a craft or skill over a long period of time. I have respect for people who put effort into their craft, but it takes me forever to learn things. It took me 3 semesters of taking Algebra 1 to finally not fail it. So learning how to do an ollie is gonna take like... So I think this is gonna take too long. I don't want to learn the jump move. I'm not gonna spend my time learning the jump move. I'm gonna go learn by myself. What's wrong with a little initiative, right? So I get up on a quarter pipe, and I set up to drop in. I got the wind knocked out of me, and then quit skateboarding. It may not be a noble thing to quit at the very first sign of effort or pain, but I think about it, and if I did continue to skateboard, I most certainly would have come out with way more brain damage than I already do, so probably for the best. Hey, buddy! What do you think about dodgeball? Well, I think that... This video is sponsored by NordVPN. NordVPN is a virtual private network that keeps you safe online. There's many things these days, like the internet. The internet is full of people wanting to know what you're doing without your consent. What you doing? Go away. Ooh. But with NordVPN, you can block those pesky trackers. Oh, guys, stop! In addition to this, you can protect yourself from malicious ads or nasty malware. But not from me. I'm immune. Nuh-uh. Protecting yourself online is all well and good, but what about your other devices? Well, NordVPN's got you covered there, because then you can put on... What? Use promo code Ice Cream Sandwich to get NordVPN's 2-year plan plus 4 additional months for free. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks NordVPN for sponsoring this video. I love dodgeball because mostly it's just easy fun that anybody can enjoy. Like that guy over there. You don't have to be good at all to play and have a good time. And I am certainly not good, except for one time I was... untouchable. It was during a college dodgeball tournament. My friends and I signed up for fun, but unfortunately, the first team that we were paired up with was really good. They were like the best dodgeball players I have ever seen. They had team organization and were really strong to boot. They were throwing balls like cannons, and we hardly stood a chance. So the games were best of 5, and we had already lost 2 games at this point. And on the 3rd game, I ended up being the last man standing. If we lost this, we were done. So it becomes clear at this point that this isn't for fun anymore. I need to win and also survive. When they saw I was the last man standing, they signaled to each other some kind of play. Like they had formations? I didn't know you could do that. What is he doing? 2 of them started winding up, and one of them was going down the center. I know exactly what was happening. It was some kind of cage maneuver. Avoiding the 2 balls on either side of me will draw me towards the center, which lines me up to be hit. Not on my watch. dodge their attack. Now, if I can return the offense and keep dodging, I can pick them off one... They caught the ball, and I was out. Was I only untouchable in that moment? Not for other parts of the game. Yes. Will I ever pull that off again? No. Was it awesome? Yeah. You would think because I was able to do that I'm like locked into the Matrix and could dodge all incoming ball-shaped threats. I wish. This one time in high school gym class, we were all outside playing some soccer. The other team had a pretty big power player, big for his age and ready to rumble. Our team had me, smaller, aerodynamic, wiggly. I was feeling pretty competitive and I didn't want to let the ball pass me. So I was committed to being the best defense on our team. And I was doing a great job. I was constantly returning the soccer ball to the other side of the field. At one point, I see their power player tee up the ball. I felt like getting in the way of this one's gonna be dangerous. He's a big guy with big legs. But I wanted to win. I had competitive brain. So I get in the way. It was a really meaty kick. I feel dizzy. I couldn't hear things for a second. I gotta sit down. You are sitting down. Abraham Lincoln. The power player felt really bad about it and apologized. I told him he didn't need to apologize. But by golly, did I think I was going to the other side for a second there. I sat on the sidelines for a bit as the game kept going. And eventually, I am feeling better and get back into the game. I am so sorry. Please, there is no need to apologize. These things happen all of the time, Mr. Lincoln. I decided that I'm not going to play anymore, and the teacher was fine with that. So I don't know why I was able to dodge balls like a Grandmaster dodgeball player, but I couldn't survive a soccer game. Maybe it was a fluke. Who knows? All I know is if you sit inside on your computer all day, you cannot get hit by ball. Uh-oh. Thanks for watching. Go long. Farther. Farther. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, a little more. One sword, please. There you go. Hello? Does anybody want to be turned to dust? Mega Dome Blaster 5000. If I'm just trying to go to the beach, am I gonna be in trouble? Need some errands done? You could also stop a meteor strike on Earth or be the cause of one. My chemicals! See ya! Hey, who are you? Oh, I'm the Fairy of Discomfort. And I hear you've been a very good boy this year. What does that mean? It means I have a gift for you. You ever think about how sound is just wiggly air that makes our brain feel things? For example, summertime ice cream, tomato soup with grilled cheese. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Notice how some of those made you feel things? Sometimes some of that wiggly air or textile feeling, it makes us suffer. And lately, I've been thinking about the ones that make me suffer, and I'm curious if these are normal. Like there was this one time I was unloading the dishwasher and I had made a mistake that I didn't think would be a mistake. Earlier, when I was choosing all of the settings for the dishwasher, I put all of the settings on max because that's what I always did. Which seems like it would make sense. If you want to clean your dishes, why not choose the setting that makes the dishes the cleanest, right? Apparently, doing it too much can change how your glass dishes feel. I went to put away one of the glasses and when I touched it, I felt such a discomfort that I let out an audible blech. The best way I can describe how it felt was squinchy. Like when you touch it, it feels like a squinch, which is obviously terrible. It's like if glass was more grippy. This is what it sounds like, by the way. Has anybody else come across this? Do you know? Do you understand? Can you look into my heart and feel what I feel? In college, I had a roommate that would set up a ton of alarms that would go off every 5 minutes in the morning to wake him up for class. And it would go off for like an hour or so. Unfortunately, for the guys who lived in the dorms next to us, I was the same way. So every morning it was like... And so now, whenever I hear the iPhone alarm, I feel some kind of primal fear. It's terrible. But the weird thing is, these days, I don't wake up to an alarm anymore. I wake up when my dog wakes me up. And how she wakes me up is she'll get into bed and she'll start wagging her tail. Good morning. And you'd think that the same thing would happen. I would hate the sound of her tail, but I don't. I love it when she wags her tail, because she's a cutie patootie. She deserves happiness at all times. What do you find uncomfortable? Is it nails on chalkboard? Or perhaps sponsorships? Come here. What do you think VPN stands for? Vuvuzela Pringles Nourishment? No. NordVPN is a VPN, which stands for Virtual Private Network. NordVPN has many features, such as being installable. Install it on any of your devices, so you can have internet protection wherever you go. Protection from what, you may ask? Not me. Don't need to worry about me. I'm not dangerous. NordVPN protects you from things like malicious ads, malware, intrusive tracking, all things that are more dangerous than me. Use promo code Ice Cream Sandwich to get NordVPN's 2-year plan plus 4 extra months for free. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks NordVPN for sponsoring this video. I hate hair. If it's doing anything except for being on a head, terrible. In food, ugh. On my desk, in my face, but the worst is when it's being pulled off a comb. Do you know that sound? Content warning, I'm about to play that sound. I think there should be some kind of invention that combs your hair without needing to comb your hair, so that we won't have to have this horrible sound in our ears ever. Or everybody could just go bald, and that would probably just solve a ton of problems. Maybe you can figure out why I hate this one. I don't know, but you know socks? It'd be kind of surprising if you didn't, but anyway, socks, they keep your feet warm. They are the best in winter and can have fun little designs on them to make you look cool. But when you wear them in bed, I would not be able to sleep. I want them off. I would rather have no feet entirely. Why is that? Your feet are so far away from the core of your body, it would only make sense to keep them warmest when you want to be warm and cozy, which would be at night in bed. You know, after working out and you get really sweaty, or not even working out, you just like, when you get really sweaty and then your shirt also gets extra sweaty and then somebody comes along and tries to hug you. Ugh. I don't even want my shirt to be touching me, let alone some other person when I'm sweaty. Don't touch me! Don't touch me! I'm weak! I'm already weak and tired! Would it be possible to liquid cool a person? Sure. Saying that out loud makes me seem really dumb. But like, if you take, you know, those gamer computers that have liquid cooling in them, could you do that with a shirt and then put that shirt on a person? I think that would be cool. I think one of the worst feelings in the world is at the dentist's office. You go in the dentist's office, you need your teeth cleaned, and they're like, hi, I'm here to help you. But then they crack out that little scratchy thing, and then they scratch your teeth. Ugh. Some of you may be asking, I can think of way worse things, such as, what if this happened? Yeah, it is worse than that, okay? Anyway, that's about all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go do a cozy thing as a palate cleanser. You mean? I don't want people yelling at me about onions. I'm a box. Wow, Andy, your eyes look beautiful today. Do you guys want this empty bowl?
Wait a second. Spiders are smaller than doors. That means spiders are weak to doors.
This. I go to see what it is. I want to go home. Me too. I will throw this box, help me, into a volcano. If you just said, I have a juicy booty, I have a juicy booty, I have a juicy booty, then it would be true. I wanted to have some blast. Earth is round, sun is bright, I got square brain. You good? Yeah. Cool. My body is wiggly. I'd like to make something very clear to everyone who loves and supports me. Get out of here! Get away from my house! Get Yes, honey. Could you hand me the sugar for my peas? Wood, nails, rubber bands, and with a little ingenuity, I created garbage. What's that? It's called salt? Mask? Bird? I still like to watch YouTube videos about Michael Reeves terrorizing his friends. Big corn dog. How do you explain that? How do you explain that? How are you gonna do it? That's how are you gonna do that? I can't. We can hang out, but I will not stop farting. It raises questions. That sounds like dumb poo-poo. I can fly and my dad is Santa. I've heard of stories where people just trip and they hit their head weird and then they stop living. Thankfully, I didn't die. Yeah, woo! I love this. I love this. I'm having fun. How could this happen to me? I made a mistake. Drink your milk. You, watching me, talk to you, watching you. Do ants poop? It'll be fun! Nobody really wanted to eat pizza because what they really craved was violence. Where's the justice? Is it here? No. Maybe here? Nope. Stop. Look at the baby.
I'm 30.
I love my sisters, both Becca and Krista. If we went to war with Djibouti, we would have a strategic advantage. Have you ever wondered what I would look like if I was crushed under a giant fist? Need a chair? I know I do. She let me out before I died, which was nice. Broccoli? Well, what are you gonna do with that there broccoli? Mud. Can I come up there? No. Please? Okay. I've been asked for a description of my dream treehouse. Alright, so first things first, gonna be talking about a tree house, not a tree platform. You know the things you see in trees? It's just like a floor? That's not a tree house. It's more like a misplaced deck, you know? A tree house needs to have elements of a house. Floor, wall, roof, window, door. And a proper tree house needs to be well furnished. So a couch, blankets, pillows, a nice rug in the middle of there. Mini fridge. Of course, to have that, you have to have electricity. So an extension cord running from the tree house to the house. Also, television, internet, table and chair. And your computer, of course, for video games. Gotta have video games, especially for the comfy nights. Think of like a rainy night. You got your snacks, your buddies, a movie, maybe play some video games. You can also put up like string lights. Yeah, that's the good stuff. Filling a treehouse with cozy things is easy though. The mark of a good treehouse is two things. One, how you climb into it, and two, how you get stuff into it. Things like snacks. Having stairs will be convenient and cheap, but that's just kind of dull. If we're going to dream here, I would like something motorized. A part of the floor of the treehouse actually lowers and raises on a platform. So maybe you have like this couch sitting right here, and there's a remote where you can push up and down. If you push down, it lowers all the way down to the ground, and everybody can get on. Anybody who wants to come and hang out. Your friends, your family, your neighbor's dog. Ooh, I love public transit. It's so easy. Here comes a bus right now. Hello. Hi. Where are we going? We're going to space. How's that even possible? I'm not entirely sure. When are we gonna get there? We're here right now. There's no doubt in my mind that public transit's great. It's cheap, it's accessible, it takes cars off of the road, which reduces traffic. A lot of good things about it. I used to take public transit all of the time when I was in community college. It made a lot of sense. I didn't have a car back then, so I would just go on the bus, go to school, spend all day there, and then go back home on the bus. Super easy. They even had a little shop at the school where you could go and buy bus passes for different lengths of time. I like that. I don't take the bus as much anymore, but I'm still left with good memories from when I used public transit. Most of the time, the rides were very normal. Nothing special would happen. But every once in a while, you would get, that commuter. You know the one where they wear their headphones around their necks and pump up the volume instead of wearing them on their head because they're headphones? And turn down the volume? Yeah, that one. If you've ever ridden a bus before, you know who I'm talking about. Honestly, I don't get why people do this. Is it like a power move? Do they want people to think they're cool? Do they just not know how to use headphones? I don't know. I didn't run into these people all of the time, but there was one particular instance where I did, and it was very uncomfortable. And I didn't have my headphones that day, so I couldn't drown out their music with my own. I just had to kind of deal with it. I'm pretty recluse, very shy, so I just kind of dealt with it. Really not the end of the world, but I noticed there was another lady who couldn't really deal with it as well. She kept shooting glances over at the guy, like her eyes were gonna make him stop. Like, stop it. Stop it, eyes. Those don't exist. It didn't work. Eventually, she mustered up enough courage to get him to stop by telling him to stop. But at that point, she had built up so much frustration that it came out really stern and very aggressive. Like, would you turn that down, please? He actually did turn it down, but he must have been embarrassed about it or something, because after she had told him to turn it down, he immediately turned to me and started smack-talking her to me. No, don't do that. I get that you're embarrassed, or at least you're frustrated with the woman for so aggressively telling you to do something so simple, but don't pull me into it like we're homies, like we're buddies. Remember, I'm shy. I don't confront my problems. I just deal with it. Experiencing some concerning emotions? Bottle it up. That's not gonna be a problem later. Put that on the shelf. Problem solved. I was nearing my bus stop at this time, so I didn't want to start anything up, so I just kind of agreed with him, you know, like, Maybe if he just vented a little bit, he would stop at some point. You would think, but no, he kept going. I think that was really rude of her to say that to me like that. Please stop. I just think that she said she wasn't cool about it. Please stop. Stop it. Like, if there was me saying it to her, I would say it to her as well, but just nicer. Stop. Stop it. I think that was just really not a cool move for her to do that to me. Eventually, my stop came and I just left. I just got up and went, never to speak of that awkward situation again, until I said it in this video. But that doesn't count. Buses aren't the only form of public transportation. I've experienced trains too. I went to France a couple years ago for a study abroad trip. That was a pretty cool experience. Wherever we needed to go in Paris, we would just take the metro and boom, you're there. You want to go to lunch? Metro. You want to go to the bar? Metro. You want to go to class? No. I'm sleeping. Please go away. At one point, my friends and I were heading down into the metro because we wanted to go back to our dorms. We heard through the tunnels that the train had actually already arrived at the platform. So we started booking it. We turn the corner and we see the train doors are still open. So we just gun it, like really go at it. Just by the skin of our teeth, we slide in and the doors close. We had been so focused on getting into the train that we didn't realize somebody had yelled something at us. And I didn't realize what that was until I looked around at the train car and it was completely empty. Nobody in sight. Oh, you guys, I think this train is done for today. Now looking back at the situation, I think it's pretty funny, but during that moment, I was very panicked. My friends found it very funny, but I didn't. I was on a whole nother level, encased in a mobile cart of fear and anguish. I don't know how trains work. I don't know where I am. I don't know French. What do you expect me to come to a country and know the language? The situation ended up being completely fine. I called my professor that was on the trip with us just to see what we should do. And at that point, a conductor came by to see if anybody was still on the train, which there was. Bonjour, je suis un enfant. Je m'appelle omelette du fromage. I'd given the phone to him. They discussed it out. She explained the situation. He was actually super nice about the whole thing. He started the train back up and just brought it to the platform we needed to go to. That was super nice of him. Just speaking of public transportation, France, they've got it down. If you wanted to go to another city, you could take a train. Anywhere in Paris, it was the metro. We talked about that before. Pay attention, come on. And it's just so easy. Back in the States a couple months ago, I was tired of driving in traffic for 20 minutes every day from home to work. So I looked up if there was a bus route I could take and do stuff on the bus while I was going to work instead. And there was. It was only just 2+ hours. I don't get how that works. Like, I get that the bus isn't a straight shot from point A to point B like it would be if you were driving a car, but over 2 hours longer? Come on, what's going on, United States? Here, if you need a little help, I got a solution for you, okay? You need something cheap, affordable, accessible to everybody, efficient, effective, trebuchet. No, wait, hear me out, all right? Operating, super easy, check it out. Step 1, aim the trebuchet at your destination. Step 2, step into trebuchet. Step 3, launch trebuchet. Is this safe? Maybe. So that's all I have on public transportation. Thank you for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to do so. You can check out more stuff on my channel at this link. By the way, I got a couple of asks in my ask bin on Tumblr about fan art and if it's okay to make it. To which I respond, of course it's okay to make it. You don't need to ask my permission to make fan art. Oh, jeez. My foam fell down and I have fixed it. You don't need my permission to do anything. You can do whatever you want. Be an astronaut. No, but really, if you want to send me something, you can tweet it at me or send it to me on email. It doesn't even need to be fan art. You can just send me regular art. I'd love to see it. I've already gotten 2 and I love them both. Oh, and finally, Super Slimy Slime 48 asked if I could make a GIF out of the EDM guy in the pizza video. So I made 2. The links for those are in the description. That should be everything. All right, thanks again for watching. Bye-bye. If you could choose any video game item to have in real life for surviving the zombie apocalypse, everyday use, and annexing Toronto, what would you choose? Why was that one so specific? This is a fun question if you like video games. And I like video games, so I went ahead and I asked you about it in the community tab. The portal gun sounds like a good idea for the zombie apocalypse. I would use a hang glider for the Breath of the Wild every day. Wait, what? And I'll go with barrier blocks from Minecraft for the last one. I'm just gonna say this outright. The Breath of the Wild hang glider is probably a really bad one. I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's just kind of worse than a real one. You have to hold on with your hands. You have to have gorilla grip strength to hold on to that. And if you can't, then you die. Have you ever used monkey bars before? Like, think of that, but 5,000 feet in the air. It's not a good idea. I don't know. Maybe you're just built like a brick, but from my perspective, I don't think I'd want to do that. The portal gun is very good though. Very useful in a zombie apocalypse. Simply put a portal in any entryway to your base, and then the other end of a portal on a cliff. It's perfect, and there's no flaws with that idea. Yeah, come a little closer. I dare you. See what happens. To annex Toronto, you would use Minecraft barrier blocks, which is a very creative choice, and also a very ambitious one. Definitely Maxwell's Notebook from Scribblenauts. I remember this game. The book that whatever you draw on becomes real. I could see this for anything. Imagine if you had a room to decorate, you could have anything. Do you need like a homemade security system? The options are limitless, really. You want to do this the easy way or the hard way? Yeah, he's not giving up. Take the shot. The gravity gun from Half-Life. It's proven to be effective in apocalyptic situations, that's true, and would be incredibly useful to everyday situations. Have you ever tried to move a mattress? It's the soft thing, but the most annoying thing to move. I could see this being very useful. I don't know how to deal with Toronto with this thing, though. I think I kind of set you guys up with the annexing Toronto question. I just thought it was funny, but it's really a hard question. It's kind of out of our scope, so sorry. I would use the hook shot from Zelda on people's faces. Wait, do you mean like in the zombie apocalypse or daily use? Speaking of video games, sponsorship jump scare! The 10th anniversary of My Singing Monsters is here. Dude, can I help you? To celebrate, My Singing Monsters is dumping a ton of new content, all designed by the community. There's a new mythical monster on Cold Island, Strombonin, who was heavily influenced by the community and not a threat to anybody. There's new costumes and decorations that were all designed by community members too. And I don't know if you guys need any more designs, but if you do, I would happily provide my services. There's also 10 special limited edition anniversary monuments for all past birthday milestones. All this stuff and more coming to the next My Singing Monsters update. Download on Steam and mobile. All right, we're done. Get out of here, man. Come on. The Banshee from Halo would help all 3 scenarios. Fly to and from work, get away from zombies and easily shoot them to protect the base, and same for Toronto. Okay, I don't think we're gonna get away with the Toronto one. But I do really like a Banshee. I would love to have a Banshee. I know exactly what I would do with a Banshee if I get one. Blue shell from Mario to annex Toronto. You can't deny its power. Few have seen this baby fly and live to tell the tale. The tool gun from Gary's mod. I love this. It's basically copy, paste, or delete for real things. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hey, look at me. Look at me. It's okay, everybody. As long as we're inside, he can't get us. Maybe just Kirby. He would eat zombies in an apocalypse, make a good pet in everyday life, and could eat Toronto if he wanted to. Causing destruction with a walking pink ball sounds fun. Kirby isn't an item, thank you, but I love him, so I will accept this answer. Hey, give me that. If you guys missed it, I made some merch and it's in the store. Check it out if you'd like. Thanks for watching.
You know the feeling you get when you get in trouble? Hey, hands on the cookie jar! You're not supposed to be having cookies! Wee-woo! Wee-woo! I got you red-handed! Wee-woo!
Not a good feeling. Or the feeling of when you get in trouble, but you didn't do anything wrong. All that shame mixed with all of that rage. It's an intense feeling.
A terrible feeling.
I don't like it. I've gotten into trouble for things that are absolutely not my fault. I've experienced injustice. However, I've learned from these experiences and grown. Ew. This one time, I was in recess. Recess was wrapping up. All of us students were lining up to go inside. The teachers were counting our heads while we waited. During this, I was standing next to a kid named Devin. We were mild friends, so we were talking to pass the time. While we were talking, he came to me with an idea. Not a good idea, mind you, but an idea. I bet that I could, like, punch really close to you and not actually punch you. No, I don't want to do that. Like, really? No, I don't. No, trust me, watch. He hit me in the throat. Do you know how that feels? Well, using state-of-the-art technology, we've rendered a precise 3D depiction of the event, allowing you to relive it just as intensely as I did. I understand if that was difficult to witness. Now, normally, on the playground, when somebody hits somebody else, the assailant goes to the principal's office. But when the teachers saw this kerfuffle, they thought that they saw two kids fighting and not one kid as a victim. They quickly went to dole out some justice. Hey, both of you, principal's office, now. Oh. This is clearly unfair, but I thought I could square it off with the principal since, you know, it's an unfair situation, obviously. And nobody in their right mind would put a victim in the doghouse for their absolute innocence, right? I hear you two have been causing some trouble. Fighting on the playground? No, he hit me. Doesn't matter who hit who first. No, I didn't do anything. Do not make excuses. This is a lesson. Fighting gets you nowhere in life. But I'm sending a note to your parents. Be thankful that is all I am doing. You can go back to your classrooms. As we walked back to class and I thought about what just happened, I was feeling like I had learned something. All right, boys, what's our takeaway? Principals are scary. We need to articulate better. Sometimes authority figures are wrong and people can make mistakes when trying to do good, ultimately resulting in injustice. No, wait, guys, I got it. All right, yeah, good work, team. We did it. All right, yeah. Woo! And I never talked to Devin again. That wasn't the only time I went to the principal's office. The other time was technically because I broke the rules, but only because I was being cool and awesome. And I'm not about to apologize for being cool and awesome. I was in high school in study time, the class everyone takes to absolutely not study and just hang out instead. One day I thought it'd be really cool to bring in some cards to show my friends a new magic trick that I learned. Is this your card? Yes. Witch, back, you witch! What? It's just a card? Now, if you've been through the American school system, you know there are really dumb rules that don't always make sense. For example, you're not allowed to wear hats. But I look good! So, there was this school rule that banned playing cards because it promoted gambling somehow. Which I thought was weird, because, you know, technology. But I really wanted to show my friends the magic trick even though I was not allowed. And I brought the cards anyway. Later, when I got into study time, I took out my deck of playing cards to show my friends the magic trick. Is this your card? Ooh, whoa. What? Cool. The devil's work. How did you do that? Ah, yes. Classic curiosity. But a magician never reveals stuff. But then, some other people in the class that I knew saw part of what was going on, so they came over to check it out. Hey, what are you guys doing? The devil's work. It's a magic trick. Yeah, it's super cool. How did you do that? Well, you know.
Magic!
I want to see. So I did the trick again. Is this your card? Oh, yeah. Cool. How'd you do that?
Magic!
But then the class supervisor noticed people having fun. How dare we? What are you guys doing? Oh, it's a magic trick, that's all. You're not supposed to be playing cards. You know that, right? Well, yeah, but we aren't playing games. We're just, yeah, okay, principal's office. What? Why? You talked back to me. Pack your stuff and go. So I went down to the principal's office with a lot of shame and bitterness. Why did he have to scold me in front of everyone like that? I wasn't even talking back. I was trying to explain. We were having fun, not gambling. The rule doesn't even make sense. People were having a good time. Hey, I hear you were playing cards in class? Then all the emotions just kind of spilled out. I really don't do good with confrontation, and I think I'm scared of authority. But the principal was really nice about it. She told me, just don't bring cards in school again. She said it's a weird rule, but just she requested I follow it. To which I agreed, and in that moment I learned not all rules are fair, but they don't need to be to still get in trouble. And that's pretty lame. Also, maybe I shouldn't have eaten that angel on my shoulder. Sorry. This other time, back in 4th grade, I got in trouble for doing nothing. And I'm still mad about it. I was in music class at the time where we were learning how to play the recorder, a beautiful and refined instrument. If you've ever played the recorder, you know it's a really easy instrument to play. So when kids get a hold of it, they do what kids do best. This made it really hard for the teacher to teach us anything. Okay, kids, now to play the B note, you need to cover these holes. This kind of environment would test anybody's patience. Imagine trying to do anything while somebody's just tooting randomly in your ear. Okay, gentlemen, for this experiment, we need to be very, very careful. So no sudden noises or movement. Oh no! I could tell the teacher was getting really close to snapping because she gave us an ultimatum. Next person to toot their recorder cannot play for the rest of class. Okay, so to play this note... Okay, who was that? But nobody answered. So I thought I should just clear my name right off the bat. So I said, wasn't me. Okay, Andy, put your recorder under your chair. You cannot play for the rest of class. Wait, but it wasn't me. Recorder under chair. Oh, I see. We're punishing honesty now. I laid my soul bare. Is this how we think justice should work? Okay, defendant, how do you plead? Innocent, guilty. Huh? Guilty. You're guilty. How do you, what? Why would you say that? You said you're innocent. So obviously, 20 years, no bail. So I put my recorder under the chair and looked around the room, trying to find out who the real rule breaker was, so I could clean my now tarnished reputation. Somewhere out there is a criminal, a wrongdoer, walking free, and I'm here bearing the burden of their crimes. But in the end, I never found them, and I ended up taking all the blame. Hey. What? Check it out, I made a new plush! You may acquire him if you desire. The plushie is live now. We're doing pre-orders and then shipping him out in September. So if you want him, he is here and he is small. Thank you for your time. And thanks for watching.
So in light of the most recent Blizzard Overwatch cinematic, I want to talk a little bit about Soldier 76 and his lore. The cinematic was fine as a standalone, but things get better if you know what's going on behind the scenes, aka the lore. On the surface, Soldier 76 is your run-of-the-mill hero. Nothing too cool or flashy about him, but he's just good at what he does, which is kill it. Like when I first saw him, I was like, whatever, you got your cool visor thing, big gun, blow-up gun, healing, it's just normal stuff. He's like, you see him in the tutorial, he's literally the starting character of the game. So that gives off really basic vibes. So when most people are looking at Soldier 76, they think, whatever, nothing special, no spice. Especially when looking at the cinematic, you're like, okay, he's shooting, pew pew, pow pow, beat up bad guys, whatever, what's going on? But let's look a little bit into his background, so we can see how Blizzard puts the cool in subtlety. Suculbity. That didn't work. This guy was your classic hard-working American man. At 18, he wanted to join the military. He wanted to go fight for a while and then come back and then work on a farm. He's still pretty run-of-the-mill. But because he was so good and stuff, like good at shooting and whatever, the military was like, hey, hold up, don't go home yet, because we got some things to talk to you about. And they got him in some kind of soldier enhancement program. At this point, we're pretty much skirting on Captain America territory. Your normal American hard-working man wants to join the military and serve his country, but he's too good at what he does, or he's got a lot of passion, and so they make him into a really good one. Whatever. The soldier enhancement program that Soldier 76 was put through made him really strong, really fast. He's basically perma-buffed. So this Omnic crisis was going on, and him and a couple of other augmented soldiers went and tried to go fight them, and that was going on, whatever. Eventually, Overwatch was formed, and a lot of the augmented soldiers joined to that force. Overwatch. This included two important characters, Morrison, Soldier 76, and Gabriel Reyes, also known as Reaper. So Soldier 76 and Reaper became good old buddies. They kind of hung out all the time, friends. They liked each other, like killing people, and they liked each other, and, they got along pretty easily because of that. Reyes ended up being the leader of Overwatch in the beginning, but after a period of time, Morrison took the lead. People loved him. He was great, seriously, Captain America material. Can't be hated, super hot. He got all the goods. Pretty much because he was the perfect leadership material, the UN made him the first official commander. And Reyes got demoted. This pissed off Reyes, that's kind of it. Reyes is like, nah, I don't want to be the best that there ever was. And after Overwatch being a thing for a while, and the Omnic crisis not being a thing for a while, people got kind of pissed at Overwatch because it was whatever, who was watching the Watchmen or something. After a bunch of allegations towards Overwatch, they pretty much fell apart, and Reyes comes in and rebels against Overwatch. Him and Reyes and Morrison fight, and they get into a big old fight. Oh no, I broke one. So long story short, the Overwatch facilities blew up and everybody thought they were dead. Specifically, Morrison, Soldier 76. But you see, Morrison's body was never recovered from the scene. So everybody thought he was dead, but really, he just ran away. So like a couple of years later, things are going down. A couple of crappy corporations like Comcast and stuff are getting attacked by somebody called Soldier 76. Nobody really knows the real name of this Soldier 76, but we know, dear viewer and I, we know what's going on. It's Morrison. It's been Morrison all along, acting as some kind of vigilante against the bad peeps of the world to help out the good peeps. Or it's like something personal. I actually don't know that much. So people who ran into this dude were like, gosh, he's so fast, he's so strong. It's like he was trained in the military or something. And then like the military did some science experiments on him, and that was really that could have made him really strong or something. Kind of like Captain America, but it was for another guy in a video game. Suspicious. Hey, did we ever find that body of that Morrison guy? So this part of the story is like pretty cool, you know. His lore is kind of interesting. He's got like this background where he interacts with other Overwatch characters, and he's like the leader and stuff, and he's like, everybody loves him. Basically, seriously, Captain America. But the point isn't that the lore alone is cool. The point is that when you're considering the lore while looking at other things relating to Soldier 76. For example, in the cinematic, he's like, oh, it's hard to kick old habits. When he saves that little girl, it's because he used to be a good guy, and now he's like a vigilante that only punishes the good, bad, but does nothing for the good. But he still can't shake that habit because he's like, used to be a really good guy, so, you know, that's actually pretty cool. In the cinematic, if you were just watching it without knowing the lore, you'd be like, oh, it's just Soldier 76, he's beating up some bad guys. But now, you're like, oh, he's beating up bad guys because vigilante, because he thought he was dead, and now he's like working on his own, and you know, these guys. It's really cool. And she's like, oh, hey, you're one of those heroes, aren't you? And he's like, not anymore. But now you're like, oh, hey, I know why. It's like super cool. I love that they did that. Like, Blizzard could have been super obvious about it and just did his lore, but in video cinematic format. But instead, they told this story that hinted towards his lore. It was still entertaining for anybody who didn't know the lore, but it was extra juicy for people who did. And it's not only the cinematic, it's in-game stuff too. Like, here's a specific favorite one of mine. When McCree kills Soldier 76 in the game, he says, thought I saw a ghost. Because he used to be, like, dead, or people thought. And that, like, gives it so much more meaning. I think the sniper, Black Widow, like, when she kills him, Soldier 76, she's like, all legends must fall. Because he's like, yeah, you know, you get it. Or, like, when May kills him, like, May kills Soldier 76, she's like, amazing. Because May is the best, and nobody should question that. Anyway, that about sums up everything. Soldier 76, neat guy, but way better when you know the lore. I hope Blizzard continues to expand on the lore of this game, because it's really, really cool and very interesting. I'm super into it. Really looking forward to more of their stuff. I hope you cuties like this video. I'm working on another video right now. I hope to get that one out like next week-ish. See you then. Peace. Oh god. It seems we've crash-landed here on this planet. Unable to get home unless we build a rocket to get home. Perhaps, maybe even better, the local planet natives can assist me in space travel. Maybe they're nice. Maybe they can get me home without even me needing to build anything. Hello, I require assistance. Can you help me, please? I need it. I need help. Okay, okay, here we go. Build a wall. I'm out of ammo. I gotta make some. Furnace, build a furnace. Need some iron, little copper over here. All right, conveyor belts, gotta get some conveyor belts. Just a little conveyor belt action. Doodly. Making a base, gotta just a little more, gotta get some ammo. Little work over here, little patch up work, gotta hurry.
Which one of these would you choose? Given the opportunity, your arms can change into any shape or material. Make $100 for every mile you run, but it stops working when you stop running. And it resets every day. You can make $1 million in a day. You just gotta run 800 miles an hour. Stay young and have perfect health, but the moment you turn 70, you die. I'm 69 years old. Hey, isn't it your birthday today? Add 2 to anything. For example, add 2 to the amount of digits in your IQ. So I asked you what you would choose to see what you would say. So what would you guys choose? Hey, can you go away? What? Fine, more for me. Out of all of them, you guys really like the arms one. Honestly, I feel like out of all the options, interchangeable and transformable arms would probably be the best and most useful due to its versatility. True. You could do many things with the arms, Bill. You could open your own professional dog walking business. You'd never have to wait to cross the street ever again. You're basically just Jake the dog, but with only arms. Assuming the pill lets you change them at will and isn't just one and done, I'd probably go with that. You could change your arms into wings and fly. You can make them slightly buffer to open jars and stuff. Well, they're open. And you could maybe even create a second pair of arms to carry more things. Not to mention, you'd never be without a weapon in a pool noodle battle. You guys are pretty clever with your ideas. I also think it would be really cool to have. Maybe you could you could do, make them into cool sunglasses. If you take this pill, it'll give you $100 for every mile you run without stopping. Can you guess who really liked this pill? I'll give you a hint. That's right. Long-distance runners. You see, I made a grave error when making this pill. If people can make money by running, then only the best runners will be rich, creating a new elite class in our modern world. An elite class of cardio athletes. While they will be out making bank by running and also improving their cardiovascular health, people like me will be doing the opposite, staying inside. All of us non-runners will be considered peasants, but you can't even run a 2-minute mile. What a dork. In this new future, the new beauty standard will be leg girth. This is a future we cannot have. I won't let them be more powerful than me. Oh my god. Now that I think back on it, I don't think I've ever run a mile without stopping somewhere in the middle. In high school, I ran a 7-minute mile. Felt pretty good about that. But I had to stop a bunch and I couldn't do it all at once. Which, if you remember, makes the pill stop working and reset the next day. So this pill is not my first choice. Hey, buddy.
Sponsorship.
This video is sponsored by NordVPN. A VPN is a virtual private network. How confusing. Simply put, a virtual private network is something that protects your online activity from big, bad, scary things. Shown here. I've soiled myself. The great thing about NordVPN is that it can be installed on multiple devices, which is perfect if you're chronically online. I love dopamine. Do you worry about malware getting all up in your business? Well, NordVPN can block malware. No. I use NordVPN myself to protect me from all kinds of things. Can it protect me from... Shut up! Use promo code Ice Cream Sandwich to get NordVPN's 2-year plan plus 4 extra months for free! It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks NordVPN for sponsoring this video. This pill is the ultimate health pill that gives you perfect health, but you stop living at exactly 70 years old. Clearly a very useful pill. But I'm willing to bet a lot of you don't know how useful it is. No illness? Ever? And you know the exact moment you die, so you have the opportunity to do the funniest thing. Hey man, thanks for inviting me to your birthday. I'm having a great time. And I really value our friendship over all of these years. Yeah, no problem. Hey, pull my finger. If you didn't pick this pill, let me tell you what you're missing out on. Perfect health means that you can eat as much junk food as you want with 0 side effects. Perfect health means you can practice as much parkour as you want without being afraid of messing up. Should have chose the health pill. Some science labs need people to test on, and they pay money to do that. So you just make money and not worry about any of the side effects that might happen from the research. Oh no! And if you had perfect health, you could live at Chernobyl. Yeah, just chilling out.
Wasteland style. Perfect health is A+, and you slept on this.
Can you stop yelling?
No.
Now, if you take this pill, you can add 2 to anything. And I mean anything. With the proper creativity, you can do some crazy things. I got nothing. For example, you can add 2 to the number of arms you have. Yeah, I'm like a bug. Could you get down? Could you get out of the walls? Plus 2 to the amount of senses I have. You know, we got taste and smell and stuff. But what if we had 2 more, right? Don't know what they would be. I hope it'd be Spidey sense. I guess that's not that useful if you also don't have Spidey reflexes. I'm in danger. I would add 2 to the amount of me's in the world, which means I technically could get twice as many things done in a day. I think we'd all still be kind of lazy though. Get to work! Oh. Thank you for participating in my video, and thanks for watching. I hope you had a good time, and I hope you have a good day. And watch what I can do.
What do you use to make comics? Things have changed, and I use different stuff now. I talked about this in a previous video, actually, and you can look at that if you want, but it's not up to date anymore. So firstly and foremost, the object I draw my comics on is no longer a Wacom Cintiq 13-inch HD, but now it's an iPad. At times, I'm really not a big fan of Apple, but when it comes to the iPad Pro, I think this is my favorite drawing device yet. Some other time, I'm probably going to do a comprehensive review of each tablet I've ever owned and which one is the best and why. But for now, I'm just gonna say iPad Pro, it's good to draw on. Good job, iPad. High five. Coupled with that, we got the Apple Pencil. It's really nice. I kind of messed mine up at the nib. I think it's because I put it in my pocket weird. But besides it being a little bit crooked all the time, it works just perfectly. Pressure levels are great. It's got tilt sensitivity built into it. I remember the Apple Pencil when it came out got a ton of flack for being so expensive, but honestly, it's worth the price. The Wacom tablet pen thing, this bad boy, is actually like $70 or $80 to replace, so comparably, it's not that different in terms of price. I like it. The program that I used to be Clip Studio, which I still use every once in a while. If I ever work on my desktop, I'll use Clip Studio. But when I'm on my iPad, I use Procreate. It's $10, it's great. Everybody I see on Twitter uses it, so I was like, I'll buy it. This is pretty much it. You can draw anything after that. You can draw a butt. You could draw a heart. Your imagination is your limit, really. You can draw a comic about a heart being a butt. You can do anything. Unless it is a crime. But it is hard to commit crimes via a comic. I hope this helped, and have fun.
I do not like to die. Not a fan. In fact, I love not dying. As you may be able to tell from my beautiful, youthful, lifelike state. But that isn't to say that I haven't had my moments of close calls. Whoa! One time when I was in college, I was trying to plug something into the outlet under my table. I didn't want to fully get out of my chair and get on my hands and knees just to plug something in. So I just tried and reach the outlet and plug it in without looking. I know, you don't need to say anything, but I kept missing the plug that I wasn't looking at. So I used my finger to try to find the outlet and then guide the plug towards the outlet. And I was just thinking that I would take my finger away before I got too close, but I shocked myself with an actual outlet in real life. This is something I did, and I lived, and I'm thankful for that, but I am self-aware enough to say that is not my brightest moment. That could have been it for me. I never imagined myself going out that way, I'm gonna be honest. I always thought when I die, it would be cool and probably impressive somehow. Like sacrificing myself to save Earth from an asteroid. This is for you, Earth. Yeah, he blew up the wrong one. But it turns out I'm highly likely to die in a fork in outlet related death, which is kind of disappointing, but also pretty in character of me.
An outlet? You died from touching an outlet?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, come on.
I guess I'm not really upset that this is the way that I am. I'm just thankful I've walked away from most things unscathed. Or at least moderately scathed. Sometimes things are just an accident though. Like this one time involving a microwave. This video is sponsored by NordVPN. You're someone that's on the internet. How did you know? Wait, seriously? On the internet, there are bad things, such as people who want your data. Give me that. Well, you can use NordVPN to protect yourself while you're online. Also, NordVPN is multifunctional, so you can use it as an ad blocker. This is all well and good, but what good is any of this if you can't use it on multiple devices? Hey, oh. Well, thankfully, you can install NordVPN on all of your devices. Use promo code Ice Cream Sandwich to get NordVPN's 2-year plan plus 4 extra months for free. Dude, sorry. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Thank you, NordVPN, for sponsoring this video. So, the microwave event. It was just some random night that I was at home, and I wanted some candy. But my parents are crazy and like to freeze their candy. Like, if you wanted a Three Musketeers, it would be in the freezer. You know the delicious candy bar, known for its fluffy and chocolatey center? Well, yeah, they like that solid. And I can't stand frozen candy, so I wanted to melt it. And thankfully, we have technology at our disposal. I intelligently thought to myself, microwave make candy warm. Candy go in microwave. This was at the time when I was a lot shorter, so I got a stool to access the microwave easier. I put the candy in the microwave and pressed start, but the candy was still in the wrapper, and the wrapper was some kind of foil or metallic. So plasma, of all things, started arcing in the microwave. Oh my goodness! I freak out and I lean on the shelving that the microwave was seated on as I use my other arm to turn it off. But the shelving wasn't bolted down or something, so the microwave tilts onto me, which I instinctively catch. And suddenly, I am holding a bomb! Father! Assistance! Thankfully, my dad runs over and pulls the plug and saves the day. Thanks, Dad. The candy was ruined though, obviously, so I just didn't have any candy that night. No. Which is, perchance, the biggest tragedy of that night. I am now aware, you don't have to say anything, I am now aware that candy in microwave wouldn't have given me the result I wanted anyway. But in the moment, it seemed right. In the spirit of the Home Alone franchise, I am at least now aware of how to weaponize everyday household items in the event of a potential intruder. Yeah, come here. Stand over there. No, wait, where are you going? There was this one Valentine's Day I was setting up for a lovely and romantic dinner for Kelly and I. It was in my dorm room at the time, and I did the best that I could with what I had. Card table with tablecloth, nice plates, fancy glassware, candles. But what's a romantic dinner without flowers? It's a cliche, sure, but it's a staple, and staples are important. Except for the store Staples, which I'm surprised is still in business. Either way, this was back during college, and it was a small college town that I was in, and there was only one floral shop that I was aware of. I've never seen a store like this. I thought it was so strange. I wasn't sure if it was actually in business. It was way too dark for the time of day it was. There were a lot of old-timey dolls placed around randomly and definitely weren't making me very uncomfortable. And nobody was there, not even the employees. I didn't think I was in the right spot, so before I left, I rang the bell at the front, and I was going to ask the hopefully present employee if there was a shop nearby that sold flowers. Someone does come to the front, and I ask them, "Do you have any roses?" "Yeah, we have roses." "Follow me." Fantastic. I wasn't wrong. This was a flower shop. I follow her behind the desk and into the greenhouse section of the building. The clear tarp that covers the structure had fallen inward and was touching a lot of the plants. I mean, if you could still grow plants when the tarp is half caved in, then why not? It's just strange. She moves past the tarp and into the back. I kind of have to duck and push the tarp out of the way to follow her. We end up in the back of the building where the boiler room is. The room was dark, messy, and full of random unorganized tools. The strangest, however, was the 7 bulky, ominous men sitting on buckets in a circle staring at me. These guys did not seem to work at this establishment, and they did not seem friendly. And also, who hangs out in a dark, messy room like this? I was starting to get weird feelings at this point. The lady who was helping me said, "Stay there for a moment," and starts moving further back into the boiler room. The men are still staring at me. Whatever conversation they were having wasn't happening anymore, because of my presence, I assume. She comes back with this bucket with just a bunch of roses in it. Man, what's with this place and buckets? And then she tells me they are $30 each. $30 per rose? What kind of scam is this place? $30. I suddenly am very aware of the situation that I'm in. Why am I in the back of a flower shop, in a dark room? Why didn't they bring the flowers to me in the front? Why are all these men silently staring at me? Why are the roses $30? I think this is a drug trade and I just interrupted their meeting. I am in the least safe place to be right now. And I can't just not buy a rose. They'll probably think I'm an undercover cop or something, just trying to get close to them and gain information. I am incredibly vulnerable. They could beat me up, take my money, and stuff. I don't know. I have to buy one so they don't get suspicious. Plus, they're still staring at me. Yes. 1 rose, please, I said unsuspiciously. I do the transaction, and I get out of there, back outside where it's safe. Finally, I have my rose and all of the pieces for my romantic dinner. But now I also have a lesson learned. Never do business in an establishment where the lights are off, you think it's closed, and the roof is caved in. I wish I was more aware of things, but that's just not who I am. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Things are crazy, like microwaves.
Have you ever watched my channel and thought, this guy's kind of weird? Oh, jeez.
Sometimes referred to as astrology for guys, the Myers-Briggs personality test categorizes you into one of 16 categories in the flavor of United States tax form. From that, you can determine your personality traits. And I recently took one. The questions were revealing, I think. You regularly make new friends. People are social creatures. Everyone likes finding somebody that they can call a friend. Someone you can call up and say, hey, do you want to see how many red vines we can eat in a minute? And then be there for you to get you an ambulance. If I find somebody that I'm making friends with, I'm happy. However, I am very introverted. But I'm an animation YouTuber, so I don't think anybody's surprised by that. Socializing will drain me a lot faster than most things, so it's just not something I seek out. Hi. I just have the friends that I have, and sometimes new friends happen. You spend a lot of your free time exploring various random topics that pique your interest. Just the other day, I learned that ticks don't freeze in the winter because they produce kind of an antifreeze chemical, and also Lyme's disease feeds off of that chemical, and that's insane. I've been watching a lot of content vicariously through Moist Critical lately, and it'll often send me down a rabbit hole of like Wikipedia searches and other YouTube videos that I didn't need to know, but I find very entertaining. There's always something to learn on the internet, and the internet never says no. This video is sponsored by Keeps again! Keeps is a subscription service. Keeps delivers hair loss treatment to your door. Keeps does not make you explode. That was unrelated. Are you in need of hair chemical? Well, consider Keeps. Keeps is a hair treatment service that has doctor-recommended plans that are delivered straight to your door at about half the cost of a traditional pharmacy. Also, Keeps has an assortment of hair products, which includes an all-natural and award-winning thickening shampoo and conditioner system for strong and robust hair. Keeps has a network of medical advisors, prescribers, and specialists who can support you for whatever help you need for your hair treatment goals. Hello, Keeps? You guys have any extra hair? I'm collecting. So what do you mean when you say, stop calling? Hair loss stops with Keeps. To get 50% off on your first order, go to keeps.com/ice-cream-sandwich or click on the link in the description. That's keeps.com/ice-cream-sandwich. Keeps. It's a product. You usually stay calm, even under a lot of pressure. One time, Kelly and I were driving away from the city on this road that was starting to turn into a highway. Usually, highways don't have lefts, but because it was some kind of transition thing, there was this left lane this guy was using, and just as I started to close the distance between this guy and me, they failed to look behind them and change lanes directly into mine. But without a gasp or a flinch or anything, I applied the perfect amount of brake just in time so I could get out of the way and keep going down the highway. Perfectly, without flaw. But this other time, I was mixing a bunch of trail mix and I dropped a raisin on the floor, and Rhea, my beautiful and adorable dog, came and ate it, and she really liked it. I'm like, oh, you like raisins? And I gave her 5 more raisins. Later that night, I wake up to hear her vomiting in another room. I go and see that she's really acting very sick, and I get like some kind of divine thought pops into my head and just says, maybe it was the raisins. I'm like, no. It's a fruit. And then I Googled it. And for anybody that doesn't know, raisins are incredibly toxic to dogs to such an extent that 1 raisin can kill a dog. And I gave my dog 6. I begin calling the ASPCA, and I'm calling emergency vet lines trying to get to her appointment, which I eventually place. And this whole time, I'm shaking and crying and not doing well. In the end, they treated her, and she's fine. Everybody did a great job except for me, and now she doesn't get raisins or all of these other things that are poisonous to dogs. So anyway, am I calm? Depending on the situation, I will either have an incredibly strong emotional reaction due to intense fear and guilt, or I'll activate like a sleeper agent and do whatever is necessary to succeed. I don't know. Seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry. No. you're more inclined to follow your head than your heart. It's hard to follow what's not there. You feel comfortable just walking up to somebody you find interesting and striking a conversation. Oh God, no. I'm not insane. What if they find out I'm weird? Could you imagine? That'd be embarrassing. Stop staring at me, freak. Plus, what would I even talk about? You know that ticks, they make antifreeze and Lyme's disease eats it. Oh, wait. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. Yeah, this is something I wish I could change about myself. This one time somebody asked me to make a tattoo for them, and I said, of course. But they had to consistently remind me to complete the task because I kept forgetting or procrastinating, and then in the end, it wasn't even actually what they wanted because I also have trouble following instructions. So I think that I'm just not organizationally strong, but I can draw a pretty mean circle. So after compiling these and other questions in this quiz, we get logician, which feels wrong, but the explanation feels like it actually makes a little bit of sense. Oh, would you look at that? According to what is happening over here? According to the test, my strengths are things like thinking of ideas, imagination, curiosity, and seeking objective truth, which I think I'm in line with. I love daydreaming. I don't know how I passed any test ever. Someone might be professionally explaining the detailed and extensive history of the Eastern world, but what is going on in my head is completely separate. My weaknesses are things like being disconnected, too matter-of-fact, perfectionist, dissatisfied. I can relate to some of these as well. I spend a lot of time trying to get a drawing to feel right, even though my drawing style is really simplistic, and I should just embrace that simplicity. There have been times I will get caught up in drawing a circle for well over a minute just so it looks right. And that's probably not great. Oh, there's more. What does this say? Is so cool and handsome. Wow, what a handsome guy you are. Wow, that's crazy that it says that at the bottom. That has always been there. What the heck? Anyways. Wait a second. Is that Minnesota? It is! Out of my way. The Minnesota State Fair is happening, I think, depending on when this video is out. Welcome to Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes. Here in Minnesota, we got Valley Fair, Hot Dish, Mall of America, Goose, the Boundary Waters, me, hey, Snow, 3M. One time, Jaden got stuck here. Hey. Loons, lakes, and of course, the best state fair in all of the land. The Minnesota State Fair is about to happen, and that means delicious food and cute animals and butter people. Obviously, if you're gonna go to the state fair, definitely, absolutely, please wear a mask. Especially since there's going to be a lot of people there, because Minnesota has the biggest state fair in the entire United States. Texas, for some reason, holds that title, as we can see on Wikipedia, but that's a lie. In reality, Minnesota has the biggest state fair. I don't know how Texas got that title. I mean, I get the meme. Everything's biggest in Texas. They're considered the biggest state fair because they're longer, which doesn't make any sense. That's like saying Timmy got the most Easter eggs on the Easter egg hunt because he got twice the amount of time. That's like cheating. And that's time, everybody. Stop hunting. Time's up. Timmy, though, you can keep going if you want. After you're done, we can count all the eggs to see who's the winner. State fair? More like state unfair. I love food at the state fair. There are some really good foods, and there are some foods that make you feel like, and I want to go through some of those with you. But first, this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform for creative people who are learning new skills, honing existing skills, or just exploring their creativity. Skillshare has something for everyone. Look, back in the day, if you wanted to learn about wood burning art, you'd have to go to the library, and who's even literate these days? I know I'm not. Now you can just go online and take a class on wood burning without even leaving your home. It's amazing! Personally, I would like to take this class about indoor gardening by Ekta Chaudhary, because as it stands, I exist in an endless white void. And I think it could use a little decoration. Skillshare is made for learning, so that means there are no ads, and there's always new premium classes being added. In the description, there's a link for a 1-month free trial of Skillshare for the first 1,000 people that click on it. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. The state fair has lots of delicious things to admire. You got corn dogs, corn, fries, cheese curds, cookies, milk, butter people. But you can't eat those. I find that my favorite food is the normal food. There is, on the other end of the spectrum, not normal food. The normal food, like the cookies from Sweet Martha's Cookies, is one of the reasons the Minnesota State Fair is the best state fair. You can get an entire bucket of cookies. After the cookies, you gotta go to the milk stand for obvious reasons. The cheese curds are beautiful, gorgeous pieces of art. You can get an entire bucket of fries at the fry stand, which is amazing. The best things at the state fair seem to come in buckets, I guess. Another reason people come to the state fair is the non-conventional foods that people come to try. One year, I was with my cousin and we tried the fabled Snickers candy bar on a stick, deep fried. I don't even know why I bought one, and I don't remember enjoying it. But I also don't remember disliking it. I ate it, and it tasted like if everything was a flavor, kind of like how chicken is a weirdly universal flavor. That's what I imagined this flavor was. Universal. I don't know, like, how do you explain that? Thank God I was young at the time when I ate it, so my body could take such a beating. I imagine anybody over the age of 80 would have had heart palpitations just by smelling the booth selling those things. I don't really like those kinds of foods. It's really not for everybody. But here's a sample of what's gonna be there this year that I want to slander. Buffalo chicken dough skit. It's like a biscuit donut thing, stuffed with shredded chicken, glazed with a sweet and spicy buffalo icing, with bacon bits on the top. Ew! Cucumber jalapeno limeade. Spicy lemonade. You know how lemonade is refreshing? Well, how about not that? Jumbo donut sundae. It's a sundae and a donut, but they put the sundae on the donut. Waffle burger, maple infused candied sweet crunchy waffles with a side of maple syrup. It sounds good until you realize there's a meat patty in there. Ew! But I also have to remind myself that's part of the draw of the state fair. I may be slandering all these foods, but I'm just one person whose favorite flavor of ice cream is vanilla. Other, more adventurous people come to the state fair purely because of the crazy foods. They either want to try it because it sounds good to them, or they want to try it because it sounds bad to them. Wow, that sounds like a terrible combination of things. I'll take 2, please. But hey, I mean, that's just more corn dogs for me. If I had a booth at the state fair, it would blow all of the other booths out of the water. It would be at the top tier best-selling food ever to touch state fair grounds. Come round, come here ye, everybody, for your toast. Yeah, you heard me right. I would sell toast. It's a tried and true breakfast champion. There's no complex combinations where the flavors may or may not clash. It would be thick and delicious, and everybody loves bigger portions anyway, so it'd be super popular. And it's simple. Bread and butter. No choices need to be made. The only thing you need to decide at this booth is how much do you want. Anyone? Okay. Thanks for watching. I don't have a lot else to say. Do you know why my dog is the best dog in the world? Because she's a little baby. This is my little baby, that's why. This, everybody, is my dog, and her name is Rhea. She is a rescue from the south, a breed, and she is full of love. Honestly, without a doubt, with zero bias, I think she's the best dog probably ever to exist. She just loves and trusts everybody we meet, which is very cute. But also, it's a little weird. It's kind of worrying. You may wonder, how did we get Rhea? How are we so lucky to be blessed with literally the best dog? It all started with Kelly. She told me one day she really wanted to get a dog and that we should adopt. Initially, I felt really hesitant about it. Don't get me wrong, I like dogs and I've had dogs before, but I knew what they came with. Primarily, lots of hair. I also felt super busy at the time, and adding things like taking care of a dog felt like too much stuff. It's not something you can do as a hobby. It's a life that you have to keep alive. An adorable little baby life was so cute, little baby. My heart was icy cold, and I didn't really want to take on this new responsibility. But Kelly was sure this was going to be a good idea, and I wasn't, so I don't know. Who am I to stand in the way? So we made a plan to foster a dog for a little while to see if it was indeed a good idea. Kelly did all the planning and collecting information and research about fostering and adopting, and eventually she found a sweet, chunky Rhea ready to join somebody's family. The listing said that she was mellow-tempered and loved to snuggle, which made Kelly think she'd be a great fit. Rhea was located all the way in the south, states away, but getting her was actually pretty simple. We contacted the organization to set everything up. They told us to meet in a parking lot where they were going to distribute all the other dogs to all of the other families. When they arrived, they gave Rhea some final shots, they gave us some paperwork and a leash, and then we went. She didn't even know who we were, but when we opened the car door, she just jumped in with no questions. She was very, very trusting. You're very trusting. Too trusting. And NordVPN is a virtual private network. When it comes to internet privacy, you may have some thoughts. Cheeseburger. Such as, what can I do to protect myself while surfing those World Wide Web waves? Well, NordVPN can actually help you with your internet protection. While you may be looking up very important research, there are prying eyes trying to collect and sell your data. Such an incredible bummer. But with NordVPN, you can block those trackers in their tracks. Not only that, but you can also block malicious ads, block nasty malware, or take me out to dinner this Friday. My schedule's wide open. I'm totally free. You can also install NordVPN on any of your devices. Your phone, my tablet, or that guy's computer. Stay away from my computer. Use promo code Ice Cream Sandwich to get NordVPN's 2-year plan plus 4 extra months for free. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Thank you, NordVPN, for sponsoring this video. At the beginning, things started off well enough. However, I was worried about leaving her alone all day because both Kelly and I had to go to work. We'd feed her breakfast, let her go potty, and go off to work. Normally, you'd think a dog in a new unfamiliar place would be more timid and maybe hiding in a spot or acting out in some way. But when I came home, she would poke her nose through the door like a bird trying to get a little seed, which is adorable. And it makes me think that she's just sitting there waiting all day for us to come home. She was starting to win me over, but despite her being literally the best little baby to ever bless this earth, I just couldn't live like this. It made me feel like I needed to vacuum everything, all the time. The line that I drew in the sand was when it came to getting into bed. We got her her own bed, and she was allowed to sleep on the couch, but I didn't want her allowed in bed, because I wanted to sleep in a blanket, and not a pile of fur. Hey babe, I'm going to bed. That was the couch. Which pile is the bed in again? The only problem was that she didn't want to be left alone. She was desperately wanting to be in bed to snuggle, as per her biography. But I stood firm, like a psychopath, and made her stay in her doggy bed on the floor. And she did, because she's a good girl. The couple weeks of fostering that we had her were coming to a close, and we had to decide if we were going to adopt her fully or not. Night after night, she requested bed access, and I kept denying her. But how many times has she moved families? What crime did she commit to deserve a nomad life? And who am I to deny her a family, a belonging, a home to snuggle in? Okay, all right, baby, I'm sorry. You can come to bed. I'm sorry I was ever rude to you or cold to you. Can you ever find it in your little doggy heart to forgive me? Obviously, you know this. We ended up adopting her as a full-time puppy. We were happy with the decision. She was happy with the decision. If time machines existed and I could go back in time and meet myself when I didn't want to adopt, there would be consequences. Ultimately, Rhea has been an amazing dog, and all I can be is thankful. Thankful to Rhea and thankful to Kelly for finding our perfect puppy baby. I have something. Listen. I have something to say. I'm listening. If you still wanted some clothing merch, we're not going to be restocking, so check out the store if you're interested in getting any of that. Thank you everybody for the support, and thank you for watching. Stop. Youngest in the family, raise your hands. Look at the baby.
I'm 30.
Being the youngest in the family comes with its pros and cons. The pros: you get a lot of attention, you get pampered, and people are pretty easy on you. Usually after having a couple kids, the parents are tired, so they put less restrictions on you. Like getting a cell phone at 10, but your siblings had to wait till 15. The cons: I have 2 sisters in my family. One of them is older than me, and so is the other one. We've had some good times, and we've had some bad times. But through it all, I love them like they're my own 2 sisters. Wait, this is Becca. She's the second oldest sibling, and she likes makeup, and she's really, really good at art. This is Krista. She's the oldest sibling. She likes murder mystery podcasts, and she's really, really good at knowing about murder. Hey, where did she go? Hey! And then there's me. I like to draw.
Make good pancakes. You make really good pancakes.
Should I put that in?
Yeah.
And I make really good pancakes. Becca and I got along pretty well when I was younger. It wasn't impossible for us to butt heads every once in a while, but we were cool most of the time because of our mutual appreciation of art. and Pokemon. We became art buddies pretty early on because she drew a lot and I thought that was cool, and I wanted to draw too. That's part of how I got into comics. I started doodling on my own instead of with Becca, then drawing and reading comics, and eventually making ice cream sandwich comics, and now this. You, watching me, talk to you, watching you. No. Chris and I have a good relationship now, but back in the day, the rivalry was strong. The rivalry. It's like rural rival. She would pull pranks on me, is what I'm trying to say. For example, do ants poop? Hey Andy, come here. I bet you can't fit into this box with the top closed. I can do that. Doubt it. Okay, check this out. See? Like a glove. Bet you feel stupid now, huh? Krista? She let me out before I died, which was nice and surprising. I'm not sure why she did it, but I am sure that it spawned a powerful claustrophobia inside me. Not everything my sisters did hurt me. Sometimes it hurt me, but with a benefit. For example, when I was a little baby, before I could even speak, my sisters and I would have breakfast together and watch Saturday morning cartoons on the telly. Usually breakfast was just cereal, and it was the rule that you just had to finish your milk after you ate your cereal. For some reason, as kids, we didn't like to do that. Good job finishing your cereal. Now don't forget to drink your milk as well. Yeah, okay.
In my will, Uncle Willie. Oh boy, I wish. But you don't get 1 cent if you harm any animals, especially.
Good job, girls. Andy, finish your milk.
You're free now with the rabbit. Go and whop and frolic in the forest.
How could this happen to me? I made a mistake. And because I couldn't say anything, I couldn't defend myself. But joke's on them because it taught me to always drink my milk after my cereal. And now, I'm tall. Drink your milk. Sometimes, Krista would prank both Becca and I, because, you know, that's kind of the role of the oldest. She calls us into this side room and shows us this very large bottle of vodka and tells us she found it in Mom's and Dad's secret stash, which they didn't have, but we were young and we believed anything. She said that she was going to drink it, and even though Becca and I didn't know anything about alcohol, except that you got it for free in church with a little bread, but outside of religion, it was strictly for adults, and drinking it was absolutely off limits. Do you dare me to do it? Krista? Krista, don't do it. If you do it...
Oh my god!
I emptied it out. It was just water. Okay, at this point I should just expect it. That one's on me, guys. I think the moral of the story is that Krista was really good at pranking us. Like, if she committed a crime, she'd probably be able to get away with it. Thievery, murder. All in all, we had our spats, but everyone goes through that. My siblings, I grew out of it pretty easily, I'd say. In conclusion, I love my sisters. Both Becca and Krista. Krista? Krista? Krista! Thanks for watching this video. Come join us on Twitter, where we have a good time hanging out. Twitter.com. It's there. I intend to keep my promise I made at the end of the last video. So, let's see here. Recent subscribers in the last 28 days. Doc Crush. DeCrush? Doc Crush? DeCrush?
You pick someone else.
No, I'm doing this one. They won. And they get the prize. Congratulations. You know what really peeves me the freak off? Several things. Like slime and ASMR videos and other things that I'll go over with you. Give me the napkin. Is it still there? You still got it on. It's still there a little bit. Did I get it? No, there's still some. Yeah. All good? Yep. Perfect. Pet peeves. The things that, no matter how mundane, peeve you off. They just peeve you. I consider myself a go with the flow kind of guy, but sometimes there's just a couple things that really peeve peeve me off. I don't know if anybody else is with me on this because it seems to be a very popular thing, but one of the top things that gets my goat, slime.
Kind of hurts my eyes a little
When
bit.
I was younger, I got a gift, and because I am a boy, it's slime. You know, you get boys, gross bugs. Blech, make a bug from the thing. Da, 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 da. I fell into that category, and so I was gifted slime one day, and I played with it for like, I don't know, a little bit. And not even after a minute or two of playing with it, my hands were filled with like this weird texture. It was like an oily texture. Whatever else I was touching was also getting oily. And then the slime itself was attracting all kinds of hair and dust. It was disgusting. And it was like 2 minutes.
I don't want to play anymore.
And now I can't stand slime. And when I see people make those satisfying slime videos, it just throws me into a deep and terrible rage. Anytime I see it, I just think of like sticky hair and oily texture. I don't know what's going on in my brain that makes me mad, but when I see it, it makes me mad. I get angry. I don't like slime. And besides, I'm more of a moon sand kind of guy anyway. Is it not just the better of the two? Would you rather play with soft, silky, beach-like sand or icky, oily, gross, sticky booger snot toy? Something wrong with your kid. Anyway, moving on. I'm glad that we can all agree that I'm right. Next up is ASMR. I get it. There's some people that listen to it and they love it. The sound goes into the brain and it gives it a little tickle and it makes them feel good. I get that. But for some reason, it feels the opposite for me. Ow! Ow! Stop it! I think it's like a personal space thing. ASMR makes it feel like somebody's right up in my bubble. And I don't like that. I like my personal space. I like me a good amount of air between me and people. Don't touch me. If I'm on a plane and your legs are touching my legs, I won't say anything because I'm pretty non-confrontational, but I'll be upset about it. Next up on the list, a pet peeve I think everybody can agree on. This video is sponsored by NordVPN. Ew, why'd you do that? NordVPN is a virtual private network that keeps you safe online. Pretend for a moment that this fist is the internet. And you're pretty good there. But with NordVPN, you can protect yourself from malicious ads, nasty malware, and that ominous floating fist from earlier. Not to mention all those pesky trackers trying to collect your precious data. You can also install NordVPN on your phone, your tablet, Bob's phone, Bob. Anywhere that you need additional protection. Use promo code Ice Cream Sandwich to get NordVPN's 2-year plan plus 4 additional months for free. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks NordVPN for sponsoring this video. There's another thing that peeves me off that I'm tired of being quiet about, and something needs to be said. One moment. Look at these two burgers. Observe how easy it is to eat this regular-sized normal burger. See? Relatively easy. Now try this. It's messy. It's bigger than your mouth. And it falls apart easily. Isn't that the worst? It's okay. I've been there, buddy. I don't like food that I physically have to crush with my hands to be able to eat it. I think there should be a law that prohibits burgers from being bigger than the average human mouth size, which is about 2.2 inches, which is around the width of 3 human fingers. Take your fingers out of your mouth. Would you be excited to eat a hot dog that required you to unhinge your mouth to eat? I don't think so. I think the rule of thumb is if your burger needs a stick to stay together, maybe it's time to go back to the drawing board. People who say short instead of average height, like people are tall or short, and somehow there's no room for average. What, you're always hot or cold and there's no warm, fast or slow, full or hungry, day or night? Is your world so rigid that you are bound by the rule of black and white? Will you give no time for the brilliance of the sunset to dance on the stage of the horizon? I'm 5'9" and that's short to you? It's average. Imagine what house you could build with hundreds of millions of dollars. Beautiful marble, gorgeous statues, water features. With that much money, you should be able to make something really amazing with a lot of good taste. Well, I found a place that's somehow the opposite. I was on Zillow trying to find the most expensive place to live in New York. No, I am not procrastinating. It's important. Research. Anyway, I found this one. Look at how unfinished it looks. It looks bad. Can you guess how much this mansion costs? $125 million. Isn't that insane? You know, like wood at Home Depot that's like not finished or part of any complete project? That's what this place looks like. It's like a table where you got all the parts but never finished them. I'm not mad that the house looks bad. I'm mad that the house looks this bad with so much money behind it. How can you be so rich and make such a bad interior? It's offensive. Let's put this into perspective. Rich people can buy crazy things like F1 fighter jets and racetracks and probably a scrying orb. But then they go and get this. It just doesn't add up, and it makes me pretty mad. Like, if you're gonna have a bad house, it should at least be cheap. It's like spending millions of dollars on a party on the moon, and then you bring out the dessert and it's yogurt. Just plain yogurt. Why ruin the $1 million party with yogurt? I can only assume whoever owns this house just wanted to feel something. They've experienced so much opulence and extravagance that this disgusting violent interior is the only thing that's made them feel anything in years. Next up, the Kraft mac and cheese boxes. Bring in Exhibit A. As you can see here, there is a nice perforated edge designed for the user to easily access the mac and cheese dust within. Perfect. It will make opening it so much easier, except it doesn't. And every time I want a bowl of mac, I end up just crushing the box and I feel stupid.
Okay, here I go. Perfect!
It's so incredibly pointless. I'm having a hard time believing it's a real machine making these perforated edges. Probably just a guy at the end of the production line making indents in the boxes with his fingernails because he thinks it's like helpful or something. Well, it isn't. Even if it was, there's an entire bag of cheese dust in there that needs to be extracted. It's not gonna fit through that tiny hole. Just copy cereal boxes. They figured it out and you can do the same thing. Probably. No. There's this thing that gets my goat so bad. When I'm on a walk with Rhea and we're having a great time, I'm taking in the nature, she's sniffing around, we come across a lawn that she's already been walking in with a tiny little, usually green, sign that says, "This lawn has been chemically treated. Keep children and pets off until dry." Why is that sign so small? Tiny. Clearly, the chemical that is treating the lawn is harmful to pets and children. Otherwise, why would there be a sign? So, when something is harmful, why is the sign so tiny? This little contradiction, it never, like, why is it also green, which blends into the grass? The issue arises when I don't notice it until Rhea's already been in the lawn sniffing around. Clearly, the solution is to have several signs, have a little skull and crossbones on it, and then, like, string together some pink string between each sign surrounded the treating area. Imagine you had to store some nuclear waste from a nuclear power plant. All right, we need to keep this away from the public. It's harmful nuclear waste. So what should we do? I have just the plan. It's perfect. If I were to give you a vial of poison and say drink it, would you? Probably not. But then, if I said, oh, don't worry, it's only enough to kill small children and pets, would you feel safe drinking it then? Probably not. I just hate those signs. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. If you don't subscribe, it'll make me mad. You won't like it when I'm mad. Do you think french fries on top of pizza would taste good or bad? One time, me and my friends wanted to make some custom pizzas outside of your normal, like, pepperoni and mushroom and whatever else. When we were hanging out, we went to the grocery store to get whatever ingredients we wanted to make our own custom pizzas. I siphoned the creative spirit from the ether, and I thought, ooh, you know what? I've never had french fry pizza. It's salty and salty. I bet nobody's ever done this before. And in true American spirit, I combined two existing foods into one sinful abomination. It tasted really bad. It's just the essence of bad in my mouth. I want to go home. F stands for fries. Hello, I think my channel is lacking in pizza-based content, so I'm here to rectify that. How are you doing? Hey, don't touch those. I need those for the video. You are to sit here and watch and accept all my opinions as fact. Stop. Okay, let's begin. I'm gonna stick with whatever Domino's has as their toppings because I think that's a good baseline, the french fries being the only exception. I just added that one to warn people. Olives. When it comes to pizza toppings, I find I become very excited about olives. Olives are jam-packed with salt, but I'm not eating pizza to be healthy, so the closer we can get to stopping a horse's heart, the better. Best paired with pepperoni or something equally salty. Both green and black olives do indubitably go hard. Green tastes saltier than black, so S for green and A for black. I think that's pretty good. Spinach. Call me crazy, but I like me some greens. Gives the pizza kind of like a healthy vibe to what otherwise would stop a horse's heart. It doesn't go hard, but it does go rigid. So loose B, firm A. So I think I'm just gonna round up to A because it can also just go on pizza without anything else and still be good. By the way, this is baseline pizza. Normal hand tossed with red sauce, no stuffed crust. Also, you might be happy to hear this, but there's no sponsorship segments in this video. Crazy. No, you know, we've all been there, eating pizza, but also concerned about your online privacy at the same time. Wow, do I have a deal for you? NordVPN is a VPN. Can you believe it? And it's good for security. For the internet. Need to watch shows in different countries? Need to access certain blocked content while traveling abroad?
Do you need to access the dark web?
Well, NordVPN has your back. They have encryption so good it'll make you say, oh, that's pretty good. With NordVPN, you might not be able to keep me from breaking and entering, but you'll be secure online. Foil hackers with this one neat trick. Hackers hate her.
I hate you so much!
It's buying NordVPN. Go to nordvpn.com/ice-cream-sandwich to get a 2-year plan plus 1 additional month with a huge discount. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Oh my god! Thank you, NordVPN, for sponsoring this video. Oh man, this party sucks. If only someone cool would come and, like, make it better, like... Yo! Pepperoni, what do you think? How could this not be S tier? It's so good that in some cases it's better to have it alone rather than adding other things that could make it worse. Worse! You get a pass if you're vegan or vegetarian, but who doesn't like pepperoni? That by itself is the biggest red flag. Onions. I enjoy onions on pizza. This is what I imagine someone who likes onions on their pizza looks like. You can't tell, but they're very funny and likable. It's an A tier. There you go. Ham. So, I like ham, but context matters, and ham on pizza is just okay. Of all the proteins, ham falls pretty far down on the list, but it's still, like, way above other proteins, like ants. So, you just won't see me picking ham as my first choice. Hi, I hope I'm not taking up too much of your time, but I'm a pizza salesman, and I was wondering if you'd like to purchase any of my ham pizzas. Oh, do you have any other kinds of pizzas? We have Italian sausage pizza. It's fine. I put Italian sausages in the same tier because neither of them excite me. Both earn their place in C pretty firmly. I'm not upset with them, I just think that they could be better. Bacon is always good, except the time that there was that bacon chocolate fad. People were like, wow, it's surprisingly good. It's so surprising. It wasn't. It was bad, objectively. And that's coming from me, a human garbage can. I'll eat anything. I even like 3-day-old Taco Bell. But bacon is not made for chocolate. We should have put that on the satellite we shot into space. But it is good on pizza. B. Chicken. Love me some chicken. It's good flavor if you do it right, and it tastes good. If someone brings chicken to the party, it's about to be a good time. That's an A tier. Nana purple. Ooh, what's this? It's mushroom pizza. Like just mushrooms? Yeah. I'm not gonna defend myself. Get out of here. Pineapple revisited. I have made claims that I don't think pineapple pizza is that bad, but upon revisiting that thought, I've had some other thoughts. I haven't had any pineapple pizza since, and I think there's a really good reason for that. It's just really not good. Tonight at 5, an exclusive interview with a guy just catching up with something we all already knew. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think pineapple on pizza is very good. Incredible. More at 5 tonight. And then the rest I've never had, because why would I? Hot buffalo sauce? What does this look like, a buffalo to you? From what I can tell, it seems as if you have been abused emotionally by customers. Like, kind of like this, but emotionally. How does this make you feel? Bad and rude customers are everywhere. So much so that when I asked you about your rude customer experiences, thousands of you replied with your own stories. That's a lot of stories. Why did it take you a year to make this video? Let's begin. From Emberly, I remember one time I had a lady walk into this ice cream shop I worked at. She brought her 2 kids with her. We're used to seeing kids all the time, but what was odd was that she ordered a 2-scoop cone, but when her kids asked for something too, she got all mad and said, neither of you scored a goal in your game today, so she refused to get them ice cream. I felt so bad having to ring up her order while watching her kids cry and beg. Even though she was polite to me, it's the saddest customer experience I've ever had. This woman is an actual cartoon villain. You sign your kids up for sports, and then when they don't perform like a professional grade athlete, you taunt them with ice cream? Who does that? Clearly, in this situation, there's only one solution. Yeah, it doesn't feel very good, does it? If we were to open up the dictionary to see the definition of evil, it's actually just this mom in there. This dictionary is crazy. I know the person telling this story is simply an employee with no corporate power, but if I was the manager of that store, I would have something to say. Actually, moms who punish their kids by going to ice cream stores and getting ice cream for themselves except for but not their kids, but they bring their kids anyway so they can make them feel bad, they have to get their ice cream with spiders. It's just company policy. Sorry, it's company policy. There's nothing I can do. Have a nice day. Enjoy your spiders. For that, Mom, I have a book recommendation. It's called How to Be a Good Parent. And I think it has some profound insight. Some pretty good insight. Anyway, that mom sucks. I'm sorry you had to witness that. And I'm also sorry you have to witness this. Witness what? Why are you looking at me like that? What's happening? Incogni.com/ice cream sandwich. That's www.incogni.com/ice cream sandwich. Thanks Incogni for sponsoring this video. Herbal Assailant says, we had a UPS drop off in our store, so it wasn't uncommon for customers to need help bringing in heavy boxes. But one day, a customer creeped up to the door and pointed out one of my coworkers and motioned them to come outside. That's deeply concerning. To me. A few minutes later, my coworker comes back in with a heavy box over his shoulder. Also, this box is like a cobbled together mess of different boxes and duct tape, and walks with the customer to the UPS desk. A few minutes pass and they both come back to the front of the store with the box and bring it back to the customer's car. Once my coworker's back inside, I ask him what that was all about, and he says he can't ship his package for him. It was a deer, an entire dead deer, in an unrefrigerated box. Welcome to UPS Shipping 101. I am Professor. First lesson, what are you allowed to ship? Does the explosive go in the allowed or not allowed category? Not allowed category. Correct. Yes. Good job. Does the mysterious unlabeled pathogen go in the allowed or not allowed category? Not allowed. That is correct. Does the dead unrefrigerated deer go into the allowed or not allowed category? Allowed. Nope. Wrong. Bad. Surprisingly, there are reasons for people to ship deer. Taxidermy, meat processing, scientific stuff, but you do need to put it on ice and not in a warm box for several days. And for what I thought were obvious reasons, it just needs to be refrigerated. Hey, I got you some ice cream. Where is it? It's in the cabinet. It's your favorite flavor! Maybe it's a little presumptuous of me, but it feels obvious that you can't ship hazardous materials. Like if something is a hazard to someone's health, you wouldn't be allowed to ship it. Hi, I'm here to ship a package. Okay, and what are you shipping? It's uranium-235. It's what? Uranium-235. Uranium-235? Yeah. Cal Johnson says, once had a customer tell me with absolute confidence that I wasn't allowed to buy things from the store that I worked at. You're not allowed to buy these items here. You're an employee and that's unfair to the customers. I deserve priority.
I think deserve is doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
Sorry, buddy. Sometimes other people exist and want to buy things. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Buddy, if there's one thing that makes me mad, it's people that make up rules to benefit themselves and they don't even have the authority to make the rules. Like that one lady who told people that they can't be on the beach near her house. It's not even your property. What, do you also get mad when people drive near your house? Other people exist. And if you want to know other things that make me mad, I made a video on it. So that's, you can put that in your back pocket for when you're looking for something to do. Oh, a wallet. Hey. Anyway, that guy sucks, and he doesn't deserve things just because he wants it. Sorry, I had to go through that. Pet. Ravage Fallout says, I worked at an amusement park for many, many years as a supervisor. The one that I remember most is being yelled at because her child that was very clearly not tall enough for the ride, and was fine with it, was not allowed on. She was full force screaming and yelling too. This woman's mother even apologized to me. It baffles me that even today, some people don't understand that safety measures are implemented for your safety. I get it. It's a crazy concept. If the supervisor was like, yeah, I don't care about safety measures, go on through, then your kid might not make it to the end. That's just crazy. Imagine you could get all the things you wanted in life from screaming. What kind of world would that be? One large popcorn, please. Okay, then your total comes to $20.50. All right. I imagine screaming as a currency, it would be an interesting economy. Auction houses would be a lot different, I think. I think the moral of the story is, something. Thanks for watching.
Look at me. Look at my eyes. Do I look like somebody who likes to work? Or do I look like somebody who likes to eat pizza like a cookie? Personally, I think it's kind of weird how much we're expected to work in high school. Like, you have to go and serve people McDoubles for 4 hours and then go home and suffer X. That's a lot of work. Does anybody else think that's crazy? Or am I crazy? I am crazy. I really did not want to get a job when I was growing up. I don't like to work. I just like the money. But if you want to go to the movie theater with your buddies, you gotta have the cash. One ticket, your total is $20. For my first job, I wanted to avoid the food service because I feared people will be a little bit more abrasive when it comes to their meals. You'll find rude customers anywhere, but I just feel like when food's involved, things get a little hairy. I don't want people yelling at me about onions. I don't care about onions. I ended up working somewhere that's not food, which I will show you through example. That's right, my very first job was here at the UPS store. It was not really that great, just a regular job. Don't worry about that. When I turned the age of 16, my dad helped me network with the local UPS store and get me a job, which thank you, Dad, for helping me do that because at that age, I was not the proper candidate for being an employee. While working there, I met a lot of really nice people and a lot of really cool people, but when you work in retail, it's impossible to not meet some, how would I say this in a nice way? Outliers. So one time this woman and her daughter came into the store and they said they needed to ship something. When you ship something out of the UPS store, you gotta ask a bunch of questions like, where is it going? Is it going internationally? Do I need to be worried about what's in this box? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm going through these questions and entering information into the computer as I did with any customer. But apparently that was a wrong thing to do because she unfolded her cane, which apparently just turned into a chair, sit down and says, this is gonna take a while. Excuse me? Why would you say that? You could say a million things to me. Why not compliment me? Why not say, wow, Andy, your eyes look beautiful today? She was shipping internationally, which means I had to do extra steps to make sure it gets there. So after a minute or so, she turns to me and says, you guys should really have the computers on our side of the desk so we can do it faster than you. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you know all the rules and regulations for shipping overseas? Do you know how this computer works? No. The worst part about rude customers is that you can't say anything despite if they're wrong or not. The customer is not always right, and the person who coined that famous phrase was very wrong, and probably it was also a customer. I think if you're mean to retail workers, they get to yell back at you. Or at the very least, you get to tell them that they're mean and make them leave. You're mean! I've only ever encountered these kinds of people at work, and I've never seen them in the wild. But if I did, and I didn't have to keep my mouth shut because I didn't work there, then I'd go right up to them and say, you're mean! Anyway. Then there was this other time when this guy tried to ship drugs. That day was particularly slow. Nobody was coming in, and it was just me and my coworker, Tony. Tony and I got along really well, because neither of us like to work. I want to go home. Me too. At one point, a guy comes in to buy just a single box. Simple, easy, he's in and out in a jiffy. But 5 minutes later, he comes back in, same box, but now something's packed up inside it. I saw the box and how he packed it, and he did the thing where he kind of fold the flaps on top of each other, which is a problem because then it just falls out if it's not taped. Can I get a description of what's in this box? It's private. I mean, we just need a general description, like, is it food, perishable? It's microchips. Okay. Microchips. Now, because the box wasn't properly taped, Tony came over and was going to tape it up for me while I was helping him on the computer. But the guy stops Tony.
I just need to retape the box really quick so it doesn't come out during shipment. The tape's free if that's what you're worried about. Oh, okay. He timidly allows us to do that, which I don't really know what his end game was because we opened the box and there was weed. Sir, we can't ship this. I'm no expert on illegal trade of illicit goods, but I know a thing or two about shipping, and I know that drugs, you can't do that one. That's on the no-go zone. We opened the box because we needed to redo the flaps so we could tape it properly. So if he just came in with the box taped, we wouldn't have known what he was shipping. There's no x-ray machine at the UPS store to see what's inside the box. The only missing component here was tape. More than anything, the situation just was awkward. Okay, that's, sorry. I want to go home. Me too. Here's some advice. If you want to ship drugs, don't. Then there's this other time where this guy tried to overnight a misshapen magazine. This time I was working alone. It was a night shift. It's dark out. And this guy comes in holding a magazine. Hello, sir. I can help you at this register. Oh, he's just getting an envelope. Probably to ship that magazine. Is he packing it up back there? Is he trying to hide something from me? Weird. I want to go home. I like to ship this next day air, please. When you ship like a piece of paper next day air, UPS has this special envelope that makes it cheaper. And I saw that he's trying to do that. So I talked to him about it. Oh, actually, we have these special envelopes that cut you a deal, so it's cheaper to ship next day air. At first, he was hesitant about that, which is definitely a red flag, because it was like $100 cheaper to ship through the special envelope. And why wouldn't you do that? You could spend $100 on buying, like, I don't know, Five Guys. That's a lot of Five Guys. Five Guys good. But still, nobody would pass that up. So it was weird that he hesitated. I eventually talked him into it because I think he was like catching on that I was catching on that he was being suspicious. So I started typing in the information for him, and he started to move the magazine from the envelope he picked up already to the other envelope that I offered him. And while he was doing this, I saw that it had a big weird lump in it. So that's another red flag. 2 for 2, baby. Why was the magazine bulgy? Is he shipping drugs? Oh my God, this is like $1,000. Who is he sending this to? What if it's the mob? Well, now I have my fingerprints on it. And then I sent it off. I don't want to get involved with the mob or whoever that was. I was 16, alone in this store at night, and not paid enough for it to be my problem. I guess now that I'm on the topic of illicit substance distribution, there was this other guy. He would always come into the store and be like, hey, I shipped a box to your store, and it's big. And we'd be like, oh, is this the one? Yeah, that's the one. Of all the other customers, this guy was very easy to deal with and really charming. But one day, a couple of other customers came in, and they're like, hello, we're the police. They asked to see the manager, and they talked to him. And then a couple days later, that guy picked up a box and then was arrested in the parking lot. Turns out he was importing a lot of opium. I think it was around this time that I realized I miscalculated when I passed up all those food service jobs. But then again, is any retail job good enough? I don't know. I bet I would have had a better time at Five Guys. Stop eating the french fries. Anyway, hindsight's 20/20. Other stuff that happened. One dude asked me if the narwhal bacon's at midnight, which was very cringe. And trust me, I know cringe. A bunch of cheerleaders burst into the store, cheered, ran in a circle, and then left. We suspect they were just trying to cause a commotion while their friends would steal things, but then realized there was nothing interesting to steal at a UPS store, and then went away. There was a guy that would often come in and try to ship bath salts, which... Again, I'm not paid enough for that. A man wanted me to send faxes, and then when I told him the number wasn't working, he shook the paper in my face and yelled, fax! It's not working. Fax! Another dude wanted me to help him with his email because the government was hacking his email. There's a guy that would come in a lot and tell us about word affirmation, but thought that it was literally magic and not just a self-motivator, and told us that the sounds in our voices affected atoms and quarks on the quantum level and would make things a reality. For example, like if you just said, I have a juicy booty, I have a juicy booty, I have a juicy booty, then it would be true. There was always the classic handful of people that would knock on the door after we were closed and ask if we were open. Are you guys open? No. And that's all that I can think about. If you subscribe, I will throw this box, help me, into a...
Ooh!
Which one of these would you choose? Given the opportunity, your arms can change into any shape or material. Make $100 for every mile you run, but it stops working when you stop running. And it resets every day. You can make $1 million in a day. You just gotta run 800 miles an hour. Stay young and have perfect health, but the moment you turn 70, you die. I'm 69 years old. Hey, isn't it your birthday today? Add 2 to anything. For example, add 2 to the amount of digits in your IQ. So I asked you what you would choose to see what you would say. So what would you guys choose? Hey, can you go away? What? Fine, more for me. Out of all of them, you guys really like the arms one. Honestly, I feel like out of all the options, interchangeable and transformable arms would probably be the best and most useful due to its versatility. True. You could do many things with the arms, Bill. You could open your own professional dog walking business. You'd never have to wait to cross the street ever again. Or you're basically just Jake the dog, but with only arms. Assuming the pill lets you change them at will and isn't just one and done, I'd probably go with that. You can change your arms into wings and fly. You can make them slightly buffer to open jars and stuff. Well, they're open. And you could maybe even create a second pair of arms to carry more things. Not to mention, you'd never be without a weapon in a pool noodle battle. You guys are pretty clever with your ideas. I also think it would be really cool to have. Maybe you could you could do, make them into cool sunglasses. If you take this pill, it'll give you $100 for every mile you run without stopping. Can you guess who really liked this pill? I'll give you a hint. That's right. Long-distance runners. You see, I made a grave error when making this pill. If people can make money by running, then only the best runners will be rich, creating a new elite class in our modern world. An elite class of cardio athletes. While they will be out making bank by running and also improving their cardiovascular health, people like me will be doing the opposite, staying inside. All of us non-runners will be considered peasants, but you can't even run a 2-minute mile. What a dork. In this new future, the new beauty standard will be leg girth. This is a future we cannot have. I won't let them be more powerful than me. Oh my god. Now that I think back on it, I don't think I've ever run a mile without stopping somewhere in the middle. In high school, I ran a 7-minute mile. Felt pretty good about that. But I had to stop a bunch and I couldn't do it all at once. Which, if you remember, makes the pill stop working and reset the next day. So this pill is not my first choice. Hey, buddy. Promo code Ice Cream Sandwich to get NordVPN's 2-year plan plus 4 extra months for free. It's risk-free with Nord 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks NordVPN for sponsoring this video. This pill is the ultimate health pill that gives you perfect health, but you stop living at exactly 70 years old. Clearly a very useful pill, but I'm willing to bet a lot of you don't know how useful it is. No illness? Ever? And you know the exact moment you die, so you have the opportunity to do the funniest thing. Hey man, thanks for inviting me to your birthday. I'm having a great time. And I really value our friendship over all of these years. Yeah, no problem. Hey, pull my finger. If you didn't pick this pill, let me tell you what you're missing out on. Perfect health means that you can eat as much junk food as you want with 0 side effects. Perfect health means you can practice as much parkour as you want without being afraid of messing up. Should have chose the health pill. Some science labs need people to test on, and they pay money to do that. So you just make money and not worry about any of the side effects that might happen from the research. Oh no! And if you had perfect health, you could live at Chernobyl. Yeah, just chilling out. Wasteland style. Perfect health is A+, and you slept on this. Can you stop yelling?
No!
Now, if you take this pill, you can add 2 to anything. And I mean anything. With the proper creativity, you can do some crazy things. I got nothing. For example, you can add 2 to the number of arms you have. Yeah, I'm like a bug. Could you get down? Could you get out of the walls? Plus 2 to the amount of senses I have. You know, we got taste and smell and stuff. But what if we had 2 more, right? Don't know what they would be. I hope it'd be Spidey sense. I guess that's not that useful if you also don't have Spidey reflexes. I'm in danger. I would add 2 to the amount of me's in the world, which means I technically could get twice as many things done in a day. I think we'd all still be kind of lazy though. Get to work! Oh. You woke up one morning, everything was fine, you felt good. Great, Ethan. Amazing. Turns out, you manifested superpowers overnight. The question is, what would you want that superpower to be? Well, I have the answer already because I already asked you in this post. And here's some of the stuff you guys said. Being able to summon any weapon you want. The only drawback being that you don't know how to use every weapon. This one is cool. You can make like swords and hammers and like a Mega Dome Blaster 5000, but the fact that it's kind of weapons based means like I don't really get to use that much. Hello? Does anybody want to be turned to dust? I mean, I just don't often get into life or death battles in my day-to-day life. You can make a very lucrative sword business though. One sword, please. There you go. Good power, very neat. You get a gold star. There you go. The ability to fly. Flying is like one of the classic superpowers. Something I've always wondered though, would you need clearance to fly in government-owned airspace? And like if I'm just trying to go to the beach, am I gonna be in trouble? But I would still love this even at much lower altitudes, like getting past crowds in hallways, need to get to work and don't want to go through traffic, need to run any errands. The traffic one would be good, but I guess a car is better for picking multiple people up than flying. You can only hold so many people while flying. Why are your hands so sweaty? What? Whoop. Also, you'll never need to quack seat back your chair because you never need to sit again. Good power though, through and through. I would be very happy with it. Gold star. Geokinesis, which would be terraforming, which would be shaping the earth. This is a very strong power. Say hello to a free house or a free wizard's tower. You could also stop a meteor strike on Earth or be the cause of one. Getting around places would also be great. And also a bunch of other cool stuff. Look, kids, it's Mount Rushmore. This is where your mom and I met. And we wanted to bring you here to this very special place so we could show you. Very good power, gold star. Next up, the superpower to bear with me. Get 50% off your first order. Go to keeps.com/ice cream sandwich or click the link in the description. KEEPS.com/ice cream sandwich. Self-cloning. This is also very good. Need to clean a whole house? Need some errands done? How about cloning yourself until every minute task is done by one person? You can also travel anywhere you want at crazy speeds. Point yourself at the direction your destination is. Then clone yourself. Then both of you clone. And then all of you clone. And then you fall over. The only thing is that you might not survive the landing. Actually, wait. If this one works by Naruto rules, then that's really good. You could clone yourself a ton. All of your clones study different parts of things, and then when you recombine, all of the knowledge combines too. You could become like a super mega brain genius in like the span of an afternoon. And I think we could all think of someone who could really make use of that. Is it you? No. What? No. I'm the one who made the video. Why would I? What? What the heck? That doesn't even make sense. I'm the one who made this video. How does it even make sense? Thanks for watching. Sorry I was gone for a long time. More stuff coming for the channel, coming down the pipeline. I am not a smart person, and I never have been, and I never will be. But there's a lot of people who say otherwise, and they support me, and they love me. I'd like to make something very clear to everyone who loves and supports me. Get out of here! Get away from my house! I know what I'm talking about when I'm calling myself stupid or dumb. This isn't a self-deprecating thing or a self-hate thing. It's just like one of those facts of life. Earth is round, sun is bright, I got square brain. Remember the hurt video I did? And there was like a bunch of math at the beginning? I wrote the script for that video, recorded the audio for that video, edited that audio, and then listened to the audio while I was animating over the audio. And it wasn't until somebody told me in the comments that I realized that my math is bad. And I got square brain. How did I get through school? Barely. Every time I have a misunderstanding where there really shouldn't be any misunderstanding, I've been writing it down and putting it in this list. And now I have a list of all of the times I was being dumb. So now my stupidity is quantifiable. Look, you see that's how many times? Too many. Let's take a trip down Idiot Lane. Let's look at a couple of these. Pay-per-view is not pay-per-view. I learned this one about a year ago. I was looking at some paper and thought to myself, paper sounds a lot like pay-per-view. 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 Pay-per-view implies there's paper involved instead of a TV. Like you would just get some papers with pictures of the show you want to watch. Turns out it's something that you pay every time you view it. Who'da thunk? Calling someone a sweet pea is not calling them a pea of which is sweet. I thought maybe people like back in the day were like, yes, honey, could you hand me the sugar for my peas? That's not what people talk like in the 50s, but you get my point. Anyway, it's a flower. Which is considerably less gross. I really don't know what I was thinking of, but when information enters my mind, it just... I don't know what happens to it. I'm stupid. What would a sweet pea taste like? What is that flavor? If I had a nickel every time I was dumb, I would not have to be smart to make a lot of money. I thought for a very long time that peer pressure was pure pressure. There's water pressure, air pressure, and then there's your friends. What do you think my IQ is? I'm gonna tweet it. I wanna see what people say. Apple, 2. At least 3. One of them for each little hair proof. Oh no. 2,500. At least 100%. It's not wrong. 2. Jonathan. Big. 0. Another 0. 82. 82. That's like a real answer. Banana. No. 149. That's a lot. A billion. 120 something? That's another real answer. Out of this world. Big. Fruit. Gummy. God. Peanut. Pants. Pancakes. Guys, it's supposed to be a number. Are you guys hungry? Potato. Taking a deuce is taking a number 2 because deuce is 2 in Spanish. Maybe German. Deuce. I spelled it wrong. Wait a second. It's English. Wait, it's English. What? It's just English. Deuce is English. What? Mushrooms are called toadstools because it's like a stool for a toad. Honestly, you could have called it anything and it would have accepted it. Oh, what's that? It's called salt mask bird. Amazing. I'm accepting that as fact. In conclusion, I'm not got the smart. There are a lot of other people in this world that are really, really good at retaining information. A lot better than I. But I'm good at other things, like this little dance. Silver lining, now I know all of these things, and my intelligence has been improving, if only a little, over time, which isn't always the case for everybody. Thanks for watching. I love seeing you watch my videos. Thank you for watching. 911? Yeah, he's back. If you haven't seen the video I've done with Noodle yet, we did a collab, and you should check it out if you haven't seen it yet. It's a fun time. And you know what else is a fun time? Noodle and I are also going to be streaming a little Bob Ross action Friday. Editor's note, by Friday, I mean literally today, 3:30 CST. Also, you can follow along with us, and then we're going to check out everybody's paintings afterwards. So if you're into that, come on by. So come check that out too. If you want a notification for when that happens, the bell icon does that. I think that's everything. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you do subscribe, then I will appear in your room tonight. I siphoned the creative spirit from the ether, and I thought, ooh, you know what? I've never had French fry pizza. A human garbage can. You might not be able to keep me from breaking and entering. The closer we can get to stopping a horse's heart, the better.
Do you need to access the dark web?
Chicken is just the essence of bad in my mouth. One sinful abomination. Ooh, what's this? It's mushroom pizza.